Sccc. We'll see if they switch it up after this. You know, the names perhaps with the also having some. But I'm certainly hoping to see the return of the great KP.
Just to set this out, gentlemen, does this mean we're going to have aggro tri-lane, safe lane, KP, and then our mid lane?
You could also send a Naga up top with a couple of support, but that's, I think, very unlikely.
So, now that we've seen our lanes kind of play out,
I'm going to go with Newbee again. I like the final pick Lina. Gives them the deep push they need against the early aggression. Gives them the pick off power. And I think Newbee will bounce back.
I actually like the draft. Really like the Lone Druid. And
10 seconds
pretty
remaining.
good games with the hero.
I like the EG draft. I think
5 seconds
Naga takes
remaining.
a lot longer to come online than Shiyu. I think there's multiple methods of disruption for the Ursa early on that he won't be able to deal much damage in fights or secure Roshan, so I like the EG.
all right, looks like my two panelists at the end are again going to be opposing Lumi's analysis. We're going to go into game number 2, Evil Geniuses versus Newbee.
And can't wait to see how this one will unfold as obviously EG up game 1. Game 2, they look like they've got a very unique draft, a very maneuverable draft as well, but Newbee look like they've also got their comfort zone.
Not as slow though. I'm worried, especially after the last game with the Drow Ranger. They got destroyed.
Yep. But they look like they wanted to counter to the team fight, right? Like that was the obvious thing. Like you were thinking about it, it's like, okay, what we got for counters to the egg? The Ursa is the primary thing, a fantastic thing against it. Then the Prophet came up causing issues with this. So is it again Newbee trying to overcompensate? Do they just lacquer on counter after counter to try and control this team fight?
I'm not sure if that's the case or they're just completely backing down from the team fights. Naga Siren on KP, we haven't seen this in a very, very long time.
It really is classic, and with that early PMS, you've actually got it on both Mugi as well as KP. Maybe the other question we do have, which may already be answered just by the positioning of the Ursa, is if we actually see the Naga Siren go to, does he have support on that off lane? We're wondering if it's going to be put in the safe lane, and you put the Ursa as the aggressive lane, and now they've actually split up, and the Ursa has headed south. So my question is already answered by them.
Yeah, they're trying to play musical lanes a little bit at the start. I'm just worried about the EG's high ground siege. I think Lone Druid plus the Phoenix is a very good combination. You have the sustain, you have the building hitter, you're not really putting too much at risk, and on top of that you have all the team fight. I think the synergy in between the Savage Roar and the Dream Coil is ridiculously strong.
So basically Newbee, they need to come online a lot sooner than what they've been looking to come online before if they're going to try and fight this one. Lina does give you a lot of early burst damage, which is fantastic for SC. Needs to have a lot better laning phase than last time.
They have great egg killers though, I think is their saving grace for this team fight. All they need is like one good team fight. You can either sleep and then focus down the egg, or you can just use Lina's high attack speed and long range. Same with Ursa's high attack speed.
They're going to try and battle over this rune. KP's going to take some decent damage for it as he does find the bounty rune. Newbee will claim 3 out of the 4, and Ichi very wisely not fighting this one. Kaka wants to. He wants Zai just a little bit further forward, and there it is. With a Thunder Strike, they may have enough damage thanks to the Burrow Strike on the run. Zai's in trouble. Quick power shot lets the damage go, and Kaka will spill first blood. The question is, does he get out scot-free? KP back again with the Riptide. He goes for another Burrow Strike. Kaka, the last attack from Crypt, will find the kill, but they want Arteezy. Cut through the tree lines, continue the run. KP, where's that Riptide? The damage not enough. 18 HP. The regeneration from the Tango is barely enough to keep the Lone Druid alive, but it will actually be the aggressive maneuver with KP on the offlane plus friends.
Man, you have to be really careful about how you play this top rune against Newbee. They've set so many traps there. Still worth it for them. They did end up getting first blood. Kaka also got a free trip back to the fountain after 2 using both of his stuns.
Nice for him, and then adds pressure to the bottom lane. Keep Universe on his toes. Universe does have the boots, but then again, so does Kaka. High movement speed from both of those bottom heroes. And as he's having a lot better time in this mid lane, went for a 1-0-1 build at the start. He's just trying to make sure that Samel has to burn through his consumables and slow down that bottle, and that has actually happened. Samel is sending out another one. It's going to be both his circlet as well as the salve coming on the courier.
Yeah, not as easy of a lane for him, for sure. And no Drow Aura to upset the balance.
Oh, Universe, is that slow going to be enough with the Burrow Strike? They just profit. The tier 1 tower is not safety. And with the aggro switch, Kaka, no. The trees, they're going to kill him. Kaka has to run 21 HP. The tower will hit him and Kaka will fall. It's a consolation prize. He'll get to take home Dota the board game.
That's a micro right there. That's how you play MP.
Block him in. I'm surprised Moogie didn't just try and kill off one of the treants.
It still would have taken probably too long for them. He also didn't want to take the tower. He can only take the tower for so long. It's only 2 minutes into it.
He just accepts it. It's like, okay, Prophet can have the money. Nice shackle from Zai. Locking in KP, still a lot to get through him. A quick mirror image. There's a lot of KP to fight. He'll get back to the tier 1 tower. The Bears coming in as well. Don't get too close with that. That's still worth some decent money. And Arteezy does switch the aggro out, so KP gets forced out of the top lane. Meanwhile, in towards the mid, what do you want first? Courier, Faith will take care of that one, then look for the kill. If you can find it, Samel's be taking the tower, and SC, has he got himself one more hit? That's all it will take. The slave Samel dodges with a phase shift. Now support comes in. Boogie gives him a bear hug.
I can't believe they're getting away with this solo Naga Siren off lane. And it's not your typical off-lane hero, but he's done a great job of surviving on his own, while the rest of Newbee don't have to protect him at all.
The consumables arrive to give him even more regeneration on this off lane. So heavy supplies going into the top lane for EG is the one way they're trying to bring KP down, but it's a Naga Siren, difficult to kill, and KP is used to playing this hero in rough situations.
They need more levels in the power shot. The Wind Ranger is so ineffective against the 4-man shield early in the game.
Another quick shackle onto KP. Oh, all that wonderful regeneration he had. A lot of it's already been burnt from him. Not terrific on that front. Also just want to flag that mid lane, even though Samael, okay, well here comes your Burrow Strike, Light Strike array from SC. He holds it. Let Samael just retreat and burn another salve. Still doesn't have that bottle on Samael. So while his CS is above that of the Lina, he's had to consume so much consumables that he's actually 300 net worth behind SC, even though he's got higher CS.
They have to be careful about overextending into the mid lane. They're trying to put a lot of pressure on Samael, but keep in mind that the Nature's Prophet is in the game and can easily TP behind and swoop in for
They're going
kills.
up on that top rune. Okay, maybe not fully. Phoenix commits the sprites and Kaka doesn't really want too much of this. He's got the Tranquil Boost and turns around looking towards Zai. Observers and sentries are down. They actually get rid of the counter ward, and Kaka with that Burrow Strike up finds the kill. Universe wants to help out, but Kaka hiding himself inside the sandstorm. Faith can't move anywhere. Locked in by Bear, and maybe now SC hits the stun onto the Wind Ranger. Not a lot of support to be given, so SC just has to run away. Having the haste room means he can run pretty damn fast. Kaka's even able to regenerate, but now locked inside the Sprout, cuts his way back out again, gets a nice Burrow Strike. The Savage Roar pushing SC away, but KP will arrive. Kaka will fall, so Universe has to double kill, but the double stun onto Arteezy, as well as Universe makes chasing SC very, very difficult. Wants to get more damage, but Samel will come in just to watch the kill happen. The neutrals are trying to kill off Universe as he's TPing away to safety. But the Nature's Prophet still claims a triple kill.
Yeah, perfect movement from Universe right there. The haste rune just was not enough for Sccc to do the damage that he needed to do. He also is only level 4 at the moment, and there was a lot of movement from Kaka in the mid lane, but he's suffering a level just as level 5. Sumel's already level 6, despite having the early death.
Sunray's turned on, Faith's getting a bit of a tan, trying to glimpse away the Phoenix. It doesn't give him enough space. And the Savage Roar, no! Arteezy on 20 HP. Can back away from Kaka. How many times is this man going to survive on a B-stick of life?
Yeah, looks like trends are up if they want to use that. Felt to hit that hot pot.
Well, Dream Coil, SC getting caught out. Zai looking for a good shackle lineup. Maybe not going to be possible. Hits the power shot instead, and in comes Moogie. The shackle, it doesn't properly latch, but still the last hit in. Zai giving its life for the cause. Died, however, before the kill connected onto SC, so doesn't get the experience for it.
Still, they're keeping Lina from hitting level 6. She is just taking forever to get that Laguna Blade. That would have been so key for her in that top fight.
If only she could get to that. There is one hero who's having himself a fantastic time, however, and that's Moogie. Looking for the early Vlad, so we have to put Roshan on our radar. EG have really good ways to scout it out and also contest Roshan with both Phoenix, Puck. The scouting obviously coming from the Prophet and Lone Druid and Wind Ranger. In fact, their scouting is amazing.
The thing about the Ursa in this matchup, though, he can't do anything versus a Wind Ranger. Normally, if you're this big, strong, safe lane carry, you can bully a support that comes to your lane, but Wind Ranger is almost completely immune to this. Yeah, she doesn't have any sort of win run, but Mugi's certainly going to expect it and not going to be able to make huge plays on him in the bottom lane.
Mid lane, Light Striker Ray gonna miss. Sumail able to phase shift it out, but then again, the damage may be too much to repair. He's got a lot of life left. A quick there's your phase shift, but the Slave from SC is able to connect, and Sumail will fall.
Perfectly timed Slave from Sccc. Now finding level 6, they can turn up the heat a little bit more. Ursa getting into that range where he can sneak in Roshan very early. And EG, they do not have the team fight yet to work around the pit. Phoenix is really struggling in terms of levels too. These supports are finding a hard way to get back into this game.
So EG still feeling comfortable with their cause. Like you're talking about the supports having issues. Arteezy able to escape multiple times. Has he lost too much time moving back and forward? Is this Midas timing still going to be good for him?
Definitely not. I think he's okay. He's just had to share the lane with his supports because they need a little bit of babysitting too.
Oh, if they can give him a little bit more space, a little bit more levels, you like that. SC and Sumail can contest as much as they want to, as Kaka and Faith spend most of their time roaming around, hitting 5 and 4 levels.
It was smart of Sumail to not go for the boots first, though. He went for full like defensive and HP item just so that he can survive this burst. His team needs a lot more time. The support still need to get level 6. Arteezy's working on his Midas, so they're not likely to help him out in this mid lane, barring the support Wind Ranger.
Mugi is going for Roshan. They're trying to contest this. As you said, EG do not have the team fight just yet, but the Treant goes in. So there's your first little bit of a scout. We hit daytime, so high vision. Mugi gets hit by the power shot as well. He does have that morbid master. He's got a little bit of sustain, but Kaka goes for the burrow strike. Sumail dodges the Slave. He needs to get out of this one now. However, Mugi has to stick around. Of course, he has no choice. Shackled up. Can he run away? The Enrage is giving him the extra life to actually take the stun. No, he doesn't. Instead, it's Kaka going back in again with the Laguna Blade. SC finds the first pick off it. It's going to be Nature's Prophet, but Newbee, they're low. The double shackle will connect, but they can't get closer, EG. They want to. Right now, they're playing ward battles. And they're going to lose that ward battle, but Roshan isn't taken.
The Nature's Prophet also is really good around the Roshan pit. They're sending in, they could just park Treants there. It's not that big of a loss for the Treant, but it's just slowing down Mugi so much. You don't want to die in that position. He didn't die, but he still was not really close to taking out Roshan at all.
I'm wondering, though, if Roshan was even really the objective. If they were just trying to force EG into an unfavorable position, because there was a lot of support there ready to fight.
Ideally, they're still not ready to fight on EG. I don't think the Egg's going to be that big a deal, but it's still their biggest team fight ultimate that they have on Evil Geniuses.
Well, back to the farm game for Universe. Needs the levels. That level 25 talent's gotta come pretty quickly for him. It's what's gonna happen. Never-ending TPs, and Mugi tries again. Into the pit he goes. Power shot from Zai is able to scout it out. Kaka.
Oh, they have the sleep ready already on KP. They're utilizing the Naga sign very well too. She's like a pretty decent frontliner at this point in the game. Just with the formation shield, she can take up a lot of damage.
And Sumail really wants to get into this. He's just hit by the Slave. He's taken so much damage. His one charges have already been committed.
It's too low. They can just sleep and they feel any sort of threat.
Yeah, and there is no threat. Mugi one paw swipe. Aegis Immortal goes to him. The Bear's coming in through the rear. Wrath of Nature does minimal to almost negligible damage. KP's the only one that really cut the brunt of it.
Their stalling tactics will not work, and they'll have to listen to split pushing for some time to come. Nature's Prophet still working on the drums, and Lone Druid still needs a lot of time. But if you're farming with the Lone Druid, you're also giving a lot of time for the Naga Siren to farm.
And that means that KP, we have to still remember, KP is the third position. This is what Newbee did time and time in the past, where they're just able to get almost 2 1s on the field just because Naga Siren can grab so much farm and have such a huge influence. Then you still have the Ursa and the Lina, the ganking squads, the ones that want to be freed up and not have to worry about their lanes. That's where KP just slips in with the Naga and takes care of the global kind of battle he's going to have with Nature's Prophet, or the potential push opportunities that the Lone Druid could have. Exactly. These won't exist.
That's the beauty of their lineup, that the Naga Siren is going to be able to transition out. You don't have this hard team fighter on KP. You don't have him on a Tidehunter, a Sand King, anything like that that's going to have issues split pushing and dealing damage in the late game. You have him on an Naga Siren, which you're completely comfortable about sitting on your side of the map for the next 20, 30 minutes even.
I'm still interested to see just how aggressive Mugi wants to get. He's still trying to complete up his Vlads. His bottom lane gank actually might be possible considering you don't have Burrow Strike available, but he's got 11 1 charges plus Sandstorm and Universe. plus crit don't really have good ways to control the Sand King. There's more add pressure, but there's so much D push from Newbee. Because they got these early levels, because Kaka actually feels confident to sit in the lane, he can sit in this bottom lane and continue to farm up while the rest of Newbee do their attack, which is exactly what is happening. Smoke maneuver up to the top lane. They want to kill off Arteezy if possible. More importantly, they want to take the tier 1 tower. Allows them to control so much more of this map. But Arteezy, he's the bonus, and it will be. The wall is up, run in, the glimpse can not pull him back into the wall, but into the waiting arms of Mugi. No more movement speed. Does he have a roar? The storm, the damage isn't enough, enraged up Mugi. One poor swipe, can't reach him. Can't get close enough, and now Mugi's in too deep. He'll die. The Aegis Immortal, however, does give him the second life. Universe wants to control him. The Sprout trying to keep everyone else away. The Shackle will connect, and in comes Samel. High movement Samel gets the silence. They couldn't song of the Siren. KP's lost, Mugi's lost, SC will join them in the afterlife in just a second, but how many can he bring with him? Bury him with all of his worldly goods. Samel will put him down.
So many missed spells from Newbee right there. The glimpse pulled him back outside of the kinetic field. The Earth Shock from Ursa just came far too late for them to actually kill him on the spot. There is no level of net on the Naga Siren. 1 point there would have yielded the kill on the Lone Druid, and Arteezy has just been escaping by his bare hide.
Yeah, time and time again he's been able to do it. And they have to do something about this, Newbee. But you can see what they did. And I don't think they really had an option with the glimpse. He was about to go into the fog of war, and
He was first struck.
yeah, actually, they didn't. It's not even a vision problem. You're
They
right.
just wanted to do it as fast as possible, so the TP responses wouldn't come. As soon as you get like coiled, the fight's probably over, and 2 people get shackled.
But then it
early
turned
in the
into a
game.
chase. Then the
Yeah.
Ursa had to run into the middle of the EG lineup, and he's not ready to fight. In fact, it looks like Mugi is sick of positioning. He switched off the Vlad and is looking to go directly into the Blink Dagger.
He needs the blink. You can't fight this early without a blink dagger. If they had a blink dagger there, it would have been a super easy kill, but he's just a little bit too underfarmed at the moment. And alternatively, for that top fight, they could have used a Song of the Siren.
Bottom
to set
lane.
up.
There's that vision again from the Thunderstrike. I don't think Face can have any kind of problems holding him in position. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, SC is going to fall. Samel able to initiate the Wrath of Nature. Gives him a lot of extra burst damage. They're still only level 1, but level 1's effective enough.
They're rebuffing the early game with the Ursa. They slowed down the Roche enough to the point where he had to just waste a lot of time, and he is falling a little bit behind through the farm. He was safe lane pre-farming for a very long time because NP had left the lane, but now they're losing towers. They've lost the Ursa multiple times. They lost the Aegis fight.
KP, Song of the Siren's going to be committed. Puck just used his orb. Kaka preps up the epicenter. The Burrow strikes it. Oh no! Cancelled off, he doesn't complete it, and now it's EG escaping from what was meant to be the easiest trap ever. Someone put the shields down.
And that's a 7.06 change, where they have the lower radius on the Naga Siren. It scales now, like 1,000, 1,200, and 1,400, and normally that would have been a slept Wind Ranger with no way to get that shackle, but he didn't push forward enough, just simply, I think, because he wasn't used to that lower radius.
Oh boy.
And in return, they buffed the cooldown a little bit at the early levels, but right there, that was very painful to watch.
Yeah, and it was the greed play as well. He knew what he had to do. The epicenter into the double Burrow strike. This is what kind of needed to happen to make that fight really in favor of Newbee, but put him in a very risky position to do the epicenter. He could have done it from the tree line, but with the Song of the Siren, you just thought you were really comfortable, and now, oh, Kaka, don't forget, for the Newbee watch.
Not too big of a kill for them. They're still trying to buy time for Lone Druid. He really has not been involved in as many of these fights as KP has, and the net worth shows that he is a little bit further ahead. He also is going for the Midas, so he's going to start to ramp up very, very soon. 2,000 gold away from the Radiance, and the time is ticking for them. I think they can hit with a Radiance. I think Lone Druid with Radiance is much, much stronger than Naga with Radiance, because you still need 2-3 more items on the Naga side after you find your initial item. But once you get the Lone Druid Radiance, you can start pushing T2s, do Roche yourself, and start taking team fights non-stop.
Do you like that build as well, Lone Druid, with the recent changes going into this Radiance going to play?
Alternatively, it's like a Maelstrom build. I don't really favor the man builds on the Bear versus the Ursa. It's Bear versus real Bear.
Well, that tier 1 tower easily belongs to Evil Geniuses. Not a lot Newbee can do to try and stop this apart from go for their own push. That's what they were attempting on bottom. Kaka has his blink and will TP out Samael. All for a moment. Yeah, he has a quick little bit of a peek. Will realize that he is alone on this bottom lane. Unless he moves quickly to catch up to Mugi, he's on full retreat.
And at this point in the game, it's very common for Newbee to get Kaka to create space. He is the Sand King in this game. He is not that close to his 4-step, but he has already completed his Blink Dagger. So they need him to run around, push out creep waves, skip creep waves, and TP out while buying time for the Naga Siren. And this is going to be a struggle for them to deal with the Lone Druid Radiance, but if they can slow down the game, wait for 3 items on each of their cores as opposed to 1 big item, then I think Newbee will slowly start to swing the lead, but they need more time.
They're coming again. Now, this isn't for Roshan. He's still a little bit away from his spawn time. Power shot, trying to scout this out. The bear's also coming down. But Newbee understand that someone should be up there, but they're actually in the lane. It's Zai showing himself. Crit very close by next to the tree line, and you just finished a full Orchid over on the Nature's property. Won't get there in time. Zai deleted from the game.
And without power shot to give them vision of the Roshan pit, they may have to go in there a little bit blind. I guess they still have Illusory Orb and the Treants, but that pick not the greatest for them. Wasn't able to get the T1 tower, wasn't able to claim Roshan, and they'll just have to walk away with their 1 spoil.
So we have 30 seconds until Roshan is up. This is how long Newbee either have to wait or EG has to prepare.
So the way the fight has to go down for EG, they have to initiate when Roshan is at like 30% plus. If it's any lower, they sleep and they retreat to the shrine where EG should be very unwilling to take a fight. So you can't wait for the last moment, wait for a steal. That radius when you're just sitting around the pit is going to be impossible to steal.
I'm wondering if it's worthwhile for Newbee to actually hold off doing Roshan. Now, you just get the fresh Bloodstone over on the Lina, but the other critical item that still needs is the Radiance on KP. Sitting at 4.3k gold, he is rapidly approaching that, but until that range is up, he can't cancel the blink of Samael. He can't really restrict the movement of EG.
EG also does not have the Radiance of their own on the Lone Druid yet, so I think you're okay with that if you are... Okay, never mind.
Speak of the devil, Radiance literally just arrived.
Yeah, I think at this point you do wait. Once you see that bear pushing out lanes, it's just a no-go for them.
Well, KP just needs the recipe now, so 1350. He's 630 the way through. And it's Evil Geniuses who are coming closer towards Roshan. Continuously scouting with their power shots. They've got tree after tree that Universe can send in. And they smoke, actually. Looking for an opening. There was the Observer Ward that scattered that out. So Newbee are aware that EG are up to something. And they just make a huge ass circle. Kaka will play King of the Hill. And they're actually going to go for this?
It's very slow. Radiance is just not a great build for taking out Roshan, and they don't have the Medallion or Solar Crest. But
Radiance can't pick anything up. There's this perfect Dire Observer Ward just a little bit southwest of the Ancients of Newbee. And because they saw Ursa just starting to prep for battle, he can jump in. Maybe Mugi's happy about this. Like, okay, well, Roshan's down to 2/3 of his life. Have they done a little bit of the hard work for him?
yeah, that's you don't want it at this HP if you're EG. It's way too low for them to fight, and they might just have to concede it.
But the Radiance is still not done for KP. This may be another reason why Newbee are not going after this. KP is having to just continuously farm inside that Radiant jungle. Can't move out to lanes, wants to keep himself hidden, because if he shows himself, EG understand that Newbee aren't committed to Roshan. Of course, this is another way to do it. Have Samael sit in an Invis rune right on top of Newbee and isolate the 2 supports. KP's coming in as well, but the Burrow Strike is already started off. Wind Ranger, Zai will fall, but the Dream Core catching 2 into the egg. They're going to burn! Crit is able to do it inside the Nova, tick damage, and they find another one. Sand King a little bit further to the north. Burrow Strikes out, hides inside the Sandstorm, but the Sentry Wall is still out. A small little bit of revenge. It's Kaka and Universe the ones to fall. And EG can capitalize by not doing Roshan because Arteezy can't kill it.
And that was a great kill rune by the Puck there. And 2 supports sitting right next to each other just begging Sumel to kill them.
But they knew the initiation position. They wanted Zai down. And this is the influence of that support Wind Ranger they've probably felt throughout the last engagements. They just don't want it.
Yeah. At least he's going very defensive too. Fair amount of HP and going for the Glimmer. Will help him versus pretty much all their heroes.
Moogie got the blink. He actually managed to get inside the pit without being scouted out. Even though Faith is currently running patrol,
They still have strong though. It's really close to the point where
the
they
power
won't be able
shots
to
are
contest.
Samael's orbs flying in as well. So Orb on cooldown for a little bit. Universe going to send his trees in. Light Strike Array. Roshan's down very low. You have the Enrage, and Moogie opens up and got bashed by Roshan. He'll finish it. The Fire Strike from Kaka, just in case anyone was trying to contest them, but the Aegis Immortal remains with the Ursa Warrior.
Lone Druid has been missing from a lot of these fights, but he's still accruing his net worth at a massive pace. He got his Midas Radiance before just the Radiance come out on KP, and KP is going to be transitioning into the one very, very short. But it still takes some time.
Yep. Crit. Balls of steel on this bottom lane. Going to hang around so we can just push it in again in just a bit.
I think this is a plus GPM game for him.
Like grouping up for smoke, it looks like it. Now there's no vision from EG in the position of Newbee, but they have their own aggressive observer ward. And that aggressive observer ward, it actually sees Universe farming. Okay, maybe not exactly the position of Universe, not up that hill. But Zoran farming, so Samael are trying to punish this aggressive maneuver from Newbee. They've caught SC out of position. The Storm, however, is stopping Phoenix from getting the egg off, and the epicenter. Kaka jumps in. The Phoenix will fall. SC is still just solo battling on the back lines. He wants to live, but Samael finally will get the rift off. And bring down the leaner. Quick Sprout. Moogie trapped in there. That one little space open for the bear, and only the bear. Power shot connects, and Song of the Siren. Aegis Immortal will trigger, but Disruptor, what do you even do? You don't have an ultimate to help out. They have to trigger off the shrine and hope EG try and fight them as they're actually regenerating up. Burrow Strike in. Lone Druid's in too far. Zai can't do anything. He's trapped inside the wall as well. Samael's trying to help out. Actually, the power shot's done enough damage. Lena has the wand charges. Will end up surviving. Samael, the Light Strike Array, he dodges it with a face shift, jumping down. They need another Burrow Strike. It'll come in, but it's too late. SC's already fallen. Universe will join the line of the dead. Moogie wants another kill. 4 seconds till blink is 4 seconds too long as Samael will orb jaunt himself to safety.
He's had so much freedom to roam around in these fights. And that was a great read by EG, thinking that Naga Siren was going to TP back all the way home, and everyone else on Newbee was at the shrine. If he had TP to the shrine, they could have taken the fight with the extra damage from the Radiance, but when you're a Naga Siren, your natural instinct is to sleep and then either TP to a lane or TP back home, not to that shrine that was so close to them at that point.
Ooh. This game, a lot closer than game one. That was very hard. 18-18 and only like 1,000 gold the difference between the two teams. And still, both teams have a lot of things to play with. The split push is still strong with both sides. The initiation and burst damage also doing the same, and we can have a quick look at this fight once more.
The sleep also just came a tiny bit too late to save the Ursa, and it looks like he was holding his Enrage a little bit until afterwards, but he TPs back to the base. Everyone else goes to the shrine, and it looks like Newbee have the better positioning at the top, but then you see the flank come around from the south side. Sumail just gets burst after burst on these key Newbee heroes.
And it's this influence of Universe as well. We cannot forget the Nature's Prophet. He's always one hero, which we say in the past of you have that extra person in every single fight, be it through the burst damage from the Wrath of Nature or just him TPing in. And the power of Sprout, Newbee are having a hard time playing around it. They cut through one tree, but one tree is not enough. EG plugged the leak very quickly, and it's normally with a damage dealer of their own like the Lone Druid Bear.
And I don't even think like cutting one tree is going to be enough. They're going to need multiple Force Staffs. Kaka already has one, but ideally you want to get like a Scepter or something else.
He's going for Glimmer.
Yeah, but they're struggling with the items.
Yeah,
soon. Phoenix will be fine because he's close to the bottom, but he's going to have Midas soon, and he also has a GPM talent at 15. So once he hits that point, he'll be caught up to where like Kaka is perhaps a few minutes into the game, but it's going to be problematic for the Disruptor to get anything.
Yeah, that's maybe when they rely more on SC. And we see SC as well with only 6 Bloodstone charges having the Yule Scepter, but the Shadow Blade build he's looking for. The ability to track somebody down into a lane, and EG doing a lot of that split pushing. We're talking about Phoenix on the bottom lane. Nature's Prophet also loves to do it. And he's a very quick and simple pick-off for SC if you can just get that initial Yule Scepter off. The Shadow Blade puts him in position to do so.
It'll also put him in a position to perhaps stun Sumail before he can phase shift.
Oh, crit's too close. The smoke's going to break. Kaka sees it. The Burrow strike. It doesn't connect. Icarus dive just in time. Crit makes a break for the tree line. TP's out. And Kaka, well, he had a guess of one, but they won't find him. Even with the wall up, Crit will escape.
And he uses minus right before.
It's efficiency.
That's the name of the game that they need to play right now. I don't think they can end the game now that like Ursa has gotten ages after ages. The early game hasn't really gotten as EG has expected. I think they expected to be able to hold on to the Roches for much, much later. But now that two have already been slain, EG have to play for the long game. And I think they thought their stalling tactics were going to be good.
Oh, Kaka preps the epicenter. Oh, wait, hang on. That doesn't look right. It was a little too early. It still will be enough damage as the Style 4 staff will kill off the Nature's Prophet.
Yep, second cancel enemy center. That one, player error, but...
Samael gets a dream call over in SC, and they're going to couple it all together. The Storm can be thrown down, but it just revealed his position, disrupted the TP out. There's no stun. Shackle still being on cooldown, but a very quick rebuttal for the death of the Nature's Prophet from EG.
You do not want your Lina to be position 3, though. She has died a lot. Her bloodstone charges are minimal at this point, and she has very little armor and can just get jumped with ease. She's not that offensive powerhouse that you need. She needs to be able to like stand there, right-click the egg, throw out multiple stuns, but she's just getting jumped constantly.
But you said it yourself, man. KP transitions himself into that one position.
You don't want to have to rely on him, though. This is a bad spot for you where it's only the Naga Siren. Illusion Split Pushers can only do so much. You still need to win the team fights.
It buys you time. Like, that's got to be it, right? Like,
Yep.
It just buys you time with the split push kicking in. Like, yeah, Nature's Prophet's pushing in the lane, so is Lone Druid, but eventually KP will have that better burst initiation. Even though the team fight control is better for EG, KP Newbee seem to have the better way to just get that simple pick off. As that maybe when we start thinking about like how EG approach the next bit of the game. You're starting to build up these items. How do they invade into Newbee's side of the river?
I think they just play more efficiently. They don't have to invade so deeply. They just need to prevent someone from getting bursted down by the Ursa and the Sand King and the Lina. They have all this like straight up upfront burst. If they can prevent that from happening, they will steamroll them into fights. And Lone Druid is still farming, and he hasn't been in many of these fights. Once he actually starts joining the fights, he should devastate them.
Kaka, be careful. He's not triggering off the smoke just yet. We are during night time, so we just Burrow Strike to slow down the bear. Nice little rune as well for SC. He's going to find a double damage rune before this engagement, and EG do want it. They are smoked up. They want to fight. KP's actually the closest to them.
Claiming this position, though, makes it difficult for EG to go up there.
It's still too early for Roshan. 30 seconds before his potential spawn time. So Newbee don't want to wait around here. Instead, they push the tier 2 tower. And this will end up being trade for trade. EG revealed their position as both teams move to the opposite sides of the map.
I think base racing versus EG is a huge mistake. The Lone Druid Bear and the Nature's Prophet Treant, not only do they have a ton of damage, they also have a ton of mobility. Nature's Prophet can split push like 2-3 lanes at once, whereas Newbee, they don't have any BOT, they have very little TPs, and they don't have great split push before Naga Siren gets really, really big, and she's still not at that point yet.
That's why they turned it into a tier 2 tower trade only. Don't even think about the base race kind of option. Instead, look towards Roshan. By taking out the tier 2 tower, they at least stop, well, I don't really stop the TP support because of the position of the shrine. But they open up the Dire jungle a lot more where EG don't have a lot of vision and easy support and control of momentum. They'll have to wait another 45 seconds for Roshan.
It should be enough for them at least to get the lanes pushed out. KP needs to be the one to push out the lanes, and then Lina can farm at the jungle because you don't really care if an illusion dies, but you can't have Sccc out there to die before the team fights happen.
I'm wondering if this is going to be worthwhile starting to hunt the bear when it does this. Epicenter, yep, it is. Kaka, just far enough away, he's able to blink, and they Lacuna Blade down this bear. It is the easier thing to kill, and having it on cooldown for 2 minutes before Roshan's coming up, a nice thing.
And it's the melee or the melee bear build where you have the radiance and the AC on the bear, so this bear is worth way more than normal for them. And I wonder if Arteezy is going to go for the defensive bear talent. We see plus 50 spirit bear damage. Might need the magic resistance or the armor later. I'm not sure which. Probably armor, I suppose.
All right, we're sitting on the eternal spawn time of Roshan. A wonderful analog clock that says 00000. We're able to finish up his bash before this as well. Same for Puck Dagon. Samael looking for that real burst damage.
It's also really good at dealing with the illusions. So now heroes like Puck have a way better chance of dealing with the illusions ever since the Dagon buff. We haven't really seen it come too much into play in professional Dota since 7.06. But in this particular game, Puck is very easy.
Oh, Burrow Strike and Laguna Blade. Zai's gonna fall, and what a good time for it. Roshan just spawned up and Ursa just started on it. The fact that this SK and Lina are able to get such a pick forces EG into a defensive position, and Newbee with an Aegis Immortal, a fresh BKB on Mugi, they can start to fight against EG in a favorable position.
Newbee has just done an excellent job of controlling the pit. Like every single time, it just seems like EG has no chance and no business being around that pit. They're just simply wasting their time. They might waste a little bit of Ursa's time in the time being, but he's still getting the Aegis and still feeding continual cheeses on the side of Newbee. And that will be another way to buff up Sccc to make sure that he gets more and more bloodstone charges. Just keep on giving him cheese after cheese so that he can live.
And moving down to the bottom lane, Newbee. SC's in the neighborhood, Samael. Just used his orb, so maneuverability has to come from Blink Dagger.
He's trying to get 25 ASAP. It's that sort of game where you just need tons and tons and tons. And you can feed more than 5 heroes moon charge this game. You can give one to the bear, I think? Can you give one to the bear? I'm not sure.
That's a good question.
We could see, what, 14 slotted at some point, if you can.
When Mean Gold 420 does pick up for the Puck, we can see anything you want to.
I don't see why not. Give it to the bear.
It
Never
makes sense
been that rich.
It makes sense he should be able to consume it himself, but I don't know if he's able to trigger it onto the bear as opposed to just trigger it onto a hero. That'd be the question mark. Either way, that's a long way down the road for this game.
Puck's fairly close to 25. He's at 21 already. Not that far into the game. And this 25 is, I think, going to make a big difference because this game is not likely going to end anytime soon. But likely 20 plus minutes on it. So he can get, I don't know, multiple tens of thousands of gold from that talent, potentially.
Well, aggression up in the top lane. Should note as well, there is a gem being picked up over on Kaka. So at least they can get rid of any kind of vision which EG may have against them. That was one big thing to take out from game one, the superiority of EG's vision game. In this game, it's a lot different. They have aggressive observer wards, one sitting inside the shrine, in fact, next to the Ancients, and the other one's down next to the tower. But both of these wards were planted a long time ago and will time out shortly.
Yeah, now you have to consider as the lesser core heroes whether or not you want to transition into late game. Like, as the Wind Ranger, do you want to still keep going defensive items, or do you want to get like Maelstrom Scepter so you can contribute to the damage? If you're the Disruptor, do you buy a Midas at this point? Do you expect to get value out of it, or do you just go straight for the Ags in hopes that the game is going to end in a timely manner where the Midas wouldn't have paid off? Maybe like the Lina needs to start transitioning to a right-click build because there has just not been that much fighting for them going on right now, and it's still going to be quite some more time for the Naga Siren to be 6-slotted.
I'm wondering how good SC sense is here. Samael is hiding from them, trying to continue to force out the bottom lane. And yeah, Samael's not going to take the risk. He's leaving. TP's back to the tier 2 tower, understands the bottom tower that Newbee are looking to push against. Fresh Observer Ward up on the hillside. They have really good vision here. So if EG want to fight, they are not going to be in a favorable position. And they're not. Arteezy is pushing in the top lane, trying to find that money for his Aghanim Scepter. Let the bear do all the push work for him. While Lone Druid just has drinks on the beach.
I'm surprised that he's going for the Scepter so early. Normally that's when you have like such a lead on the game that you just need that extra person in extra lane, but I don't actually think they're strong enough to fight 5-on-5 right now.
Maybe they force that situation you're talking about, the trade-off kind of situation. Let Universe work with, well, Universe can work with them as long as all the BKB has to burn it to survive. Ensnare, oh, barely missing him before the TP completes. Mugi once more, a quick Icarus dive will give Crit the distance he needs to survive. And then wasting more and more time with this Aegis the Immortal. But having the Aghanim Scepter, at least the bear can fight with the Nature's Prophet without putting Arteezy himself at risk.
Just begging them to Epicenter and Laguna it, however, more and more often.
A prize.
He can buy it now if he wants to, but it will sacrifice buyback.
He has actually gone for the magic resistance talent. So his
Dire's
bear,
middle tower is under
Ursa,
attack.
I guess, is your main issue at this point. It will fare very well versus Naga Siren and the rest of the newbie lineup.
Bear is life.
Bear's love.
And again, bear on bear action is the Ursa versus the Druid pair.
Just wait until Arteezy gets in a melee form.
It's the fighting pits. That's not fair. You can't have 2-on-1 in a bear-bear fight.
I don't even think he's been a melee from this game. No point really for him.
Well, SC's on the run. He doesn't actually have a quick maneuverability forward. Instead, it's the Shadow Blade. They're going to see Samael and Crit, or will they? No, they got up the hill. There was no vision. So they have to wrap around the back. Agassi Maul just timed out. And Samael into the tree line, starts his own TP. Do they get any level of vision? SC hits the Light Strike Array on the Crit. Icarus Dive is still available. A quick Yule Scepter up, mistiming it. Carter went for the Burrow Strike, so Faith must commit to the Storm in order to bring down Crit, who is dead for 50 seconds with no buyback. But Bear doing Bear things, pushing in the top lane, and they're forced to retreat. Burrow Strike and do as much damage as you can. Keep that Bear in position. SC arriving. A quick snare, and this Bear does not stand a chance. He will go down. Even more and more critical things like Arteezy, the fact he does lose this, resummons. We got to watch that respawn timer on Arteezy if he puts more and more into the Bear.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually considers
Radiant's
getting
middle
any
tower
sort
is
of
under
cooldown
attack.
reduction to deal with that. But you can tell what type of game it is. This is going to be already coming up from Arteezy. He also took the flip timer in the chat, so he's very cognizant of when and where he can take down these T3s. And it's going to be important timing from him to be able to sneak these in. A simple Yules onto the Bear is going to be devastating for him, because that should be enough. I don't actually know after the magic resistance if it's enough to proc the return. It should be, though.
Bear's in the bottom lane. Faith puts up the defensive wall. Keep that Bear out. Just TP to safety. Savage Roar was not in position to cancel the TPs, and Zion Universe will find nothing on the bottom lane. And instead it's the top lane that continuously gets pushed in. That's giving more and more space for Kaka. Still trying to complete up his own Aghanim Scepter. SC. I think he's been sitting on 6 Bloodstone charges for the last maybe 20 minutes.
Don't need respawn time, you don't die.
It's a good way to look at it. Can't have a respawn timer anyway. They all got deleted.
Invisibility.
Bloodstone more powerful now? OP? Wow,
I saw what Black did with the Bloodstone. Yeah,
wow,
it's OP.
He's going for a fighting build with the Diffusal. I expected him to go more for like Radiance or Heart or more farming, but with the Diffusal build, they actually look to fight very, very soon, or perhaps he thinks it's very good versus the Rabbit on the Bear, which does remove a lot of its damage.
Yeah. He's still looking for the Butterfly by the looks of it. There's a Talisman of Evasion sitting in KP's quick buy. Doesn't make much more sense to go any other item.
I think they want to go soon before Ursa gets peaked. You wait too long. Yeah, the Naga gets stronger, but like the Ursa gets weaker and weaker as time goes on. This just might be the sweet spot for them where Naga is at her peak, and this is before the Ursa starts to fall off heavily.
The danger zone is Roshan could potentially spawn up in just a couple of seconds. So if the fight is lost, it could be a lot of momentum swinging the other way.
That's okay. You have GPM talents on everyone.
That is
Sand King, Phoenix, both
Dire's
picked it
middle
up.
tower is under
Let's go
attack.
full defense as well. KP's getting money off the rest of the map. Burrow Strike down the bottom lane, catching him in Viz, but it goes to the Gem of True Sight. That's why Universe can't run 70 seconds without a buyback, actually willingly spending his money at the end there to give up his buyback and move closer and closer towards that Bloodthorn.
This is good for Newbee in the sense that they have more and more heroes that can start dealing with the split pushers. You have the Shadowblade Lina, you have the Blink Yule's Sand King, you have the Naga who can stop BKB-TP, you have the Ursa who can also stop BKB-TP with the Basher. So EG, they don't really feel safe throwing bodies at the T2s or the T3s because they know they're not going to get away with it.
Here we go again. Up number 4. Hello, Bear. Goodbye, Bear. Sandstorm keeps the damage. You can't return through this one, so he turns around, but Newbee bringing all the damage, and SC showing off the Shiva's guard animation.
Losing bear after bear does not bode well. You never want to take a fight with your bear when it's 2 minutes away.
Yeah, this is the worst time as well, right? Because now you get the Aegis and another cheese into the hands of Newbee. You've already got one on SC, so they can start stacking these things up. And then if you do lose the bear on the push, you lose all of that power from the lone druid. Buyback won't matter at that point.
Yeah, at some point he may need to just dump him on himself and just start right-clicking. But then you're not, and then you split push with the bear without any items. This bear still does a fair amount of damage if you just battle cry it onto the side. But I'm not really sure which way he wants to take it. But that's
Burrow Strike again. Are they really going to lose this? This is the second bear. There won't be another one for another 100 seconds. The Savage Roar out, but he can't return it. The damage from range is still enough. And they're going to allow SC to finish the job. So no bear for Arteezy and a big window of opportunity. 2 cheeses, 1 Aegis, no bear.
I think they have everything that they need. And without the bear to split push, they're not going to be able to threaten the T3s in time. Looks like Nagasiren has come back. She does have the very low cooldown with the BOTs and the Octarine. So she can be back in the fight in 20 seconds. Not this wave perhaps, but next wave coming out. And yeah, they don't have to worry about any cheese. Normally you're like, oh god, if we lose this fight, then Lone Druid is just going to destroy our rags or our T3s and our base will be in shambles. But right now, they can push out.
Yep, and SC should damage dealer. Sitting out of range of the tower, lets Mugi give him the vision up the hill. Fortification has already been burnt by EG, and the tier 3 tower is just slowly going down. It's like SC is finally just happy to back off a little bit further, wait for the next creep wave to arrive. Arteezy's trying to keep that top lane out, but Naga Illusion's keeping all the lanes pressured. The power shot's not enough to kill off the creep wave, so when it comes again, Mugi to the front lines, and the target that EG do not want to have. They're looking for the back lines. Oh, they Yule Scepter. They caught the puck. He doesn't actually have Bastion. Caught inside it. He'll actually bring down Samael. 90 seconds without him. And this is the opening that Newbee wanted. Push back in again. Oh, the bear came back to life. But will it be enough? The BKB from Mugi. KP, Song of the Siren. Universe is protected by his own BKB. They'll force-staff him away. They want to go for more. Crit being pushed forward, but he won't be able to reach anyone from Newbee. Faith is the closest. Starts his TP, but they won't know what the Savage Roar. You would have had to blindly do it up the hill to cancel that TP. Won't happen.
They, I think, missed their timing with the bear, however. He was free farming for most of the game, but he just hasn't been able to put any of his net worth to use. They got a little bit of damage on that T3 on top, but is that really worth just the Ag Scepter upgrade for him? He could have been much stronger for the team fights, perhaps, if he didn't go for the Ag Scepter, but now they have no fight left in them, and the split push has been quelled by all of Newbee's efforts. This is problematic for them. They also just kited the egg. Universe was the sole hero hitting because of his BKB, but it's just a nature's prophet. And he didn't go for like an early Maelstrom. He had to build a lot of defensive items on his nature's prophet.
This just got even rougher. Arteezy actually took the Monkey King bar out of his quick buy to try and get a BKB for himself or either the bear.
Probably the bear.
But the butterfly just got completed onto KP. So direct attacking has become more and more troublesome. Everything else is straight disable from EG.
And now it's EG that need more time. They just
they found the bear again. Kill it off. There's another bear respawn up in 21 seconds. So it's not the end of the world, but it means there will only be one bear for this fight.
It's the beginning and the end, Toby. The Doomsayer.
Send the Nagas forward. Let the illusions do the work, and then SC hit from the back lines. Bit by bit, they will siege up EG and choke them out.
You have to deal with Sccc. Look how far away he's attacking from. He's below the cliff, below the high ground.
It's hilarious too. He's moving in, and what are you going to do? You're going to send the bear forward? SC's just going to Yule Scepter it, and they potentially then lose the bear again.
Yes, range rack is dead.
Yep. Keep the buffs up. Keep the pressure on. Naga's taking care of the side lanes without having to even leave the mid lane.
And if they really wanted to be cheeky, they could like sleep and then go for one of the sides that they wanted to. But Newbee disengaging at will.
Yeah, they're like, you try and initiate on the Disruptor. Who's got a point booster and an Ogre Club? Like 1700 life. They don't have the damage that can reach him. Samael wants to. Samael has that level 5 Dagon. He has burst damage available. The issue is he can't put it in without risking getting caught out by the rest of the Newbee lineup. One stun is all it will take.
Yeah, they have no save for him. Maybe potentially you can get like a Phoenix.
The
at
shackle,
super late.
it's nice on Kaka. He's the gem carrier. Yule set defensively up till as he's forced up. Burrow Strike's a long way away.
Dire's top tower is under
Moving
attack.
about 1/6 of the map with those 2 abilities.
And the way that Newbee are just protecting each other and protecting their towers is just making it incredibly difficult for EG to get to
Universe. He ran into Kaka. Oh, Kaka! He missed the Burrow Strike. The Orchid is on him. He'll move around the tree lines. A quick Yule Scepter up. At least dispels off the damage that will come out from the Orchid. Kaka needs to keep moving out of that Sun Ray damage area. He does get free, and it's Universe up the cover of the BKB. Doesn't connect it from the physical damage, and SC already has the attack speed. They want to kill off the egg, and they've got it. SC is the double kill. He will die, however. Samael's Dagon brought him down for just shy of 1,000 gold. Going into the puck, it's not like 420 is already giving him enough. He'll take an extra grand.
Yeah, and that is already Dagon 5 for him, and he's pushing forward. Lena, not enough Bloodstone charges to push onwards without the Nathan Prophet and the Phoenix up on the other side. But still, now Universe is in that position where, yeah, he can BKB, but he still has to run away.
You can see them wanting to fight. 2 heroes down, even if you force the buybacks. Got the economical advantage of about 12,000 going the way of Newbee, but you can always chip away at a little bit more, not to mention putting that 7-minute buyback timer on cooldown.
No Abyssal yet on Ursa. It'd be a very good jump for him if he had Abyssal, but without it, it's just not guaranteed.
There's your jump, goes in, you won't need the guarantee. Zai just gets shredded. Kaka in a little bit too deep underneath the Sentry Ward. Savage Roll won't free him out. Moogie has the protection of his own BKB. Now that it wears off, maybe a little bit more cautious. Still the buybacks from EG didn't have to be committed.
And look at these yellow dots swarming the map.
Oh, I don't know if that was fully intentional. They burned the fortification. It's only illusions on the front line. Attacking in, the tier 3 town's a little bit low. But now SC is free to attack into that melee racks in the mid. Everyone's hovering around. Zai Shackle Shot is not alive, mainly because he is not.
Dire's middle barracks
The
are under
illusions
attack.
just non-stop everywhere in their
Oh,
base.
Burrow Strike,
Crawling.
it connected on the Phoenix, but it's more importantly creating space for SC. He's holding onto cheese of his own. They bring down the mid racks. So Newbee, they already have the momentum of the side lanes going their way with the Naga Siren, but with the mid lane pushing it, it just got a hell of a lot easier.
Illusion.
And now EG have to reconsider how are they going to take a fight. They can't even take a fight on the high ground. Do you expect them to smoke around and try and contest this next Roche? Every single Roche has gone Newbee's way.
Oh, they're smoking, but the Observer Ward sitting inside the base, the Sentry Ward of EG didn't see it. So Newbee are aware that no one is home at EG. The lights may be on. EG were hoping Roshan is there, but they've got another 24 seconds before Roshan should be spawning up. And EG, they find their target with a Burrow Strike in and out. Kaka, a quick retreat. The egg is being committed, but no one from Newbee is forced to fight. SC's back under the cover of his own tower, attacking into the Lone Druid's Bear. KP wants to fight. Oh, he put the arms up. He's baiting Song of the Siren. He did it twice and then pulled out. And now it's Crit. Caught out. Laguna Blade. The damage. One charge is allowing Crit just alive to survive. But on the back lines, it's all about the Ursa as well as combination with Faith. They're brought down 2. They're going to get another one. And that may have been the last roll. The dice here for EG. Samael's on the run. A quick join away, but SC's movement speed. The Slave won't reach him, but he's keeping the Fiery Stall stacks up. The Dagon. SC is low. Samael's got the speed. Speedy Gonzalez versus Sonic at the moment, and both can't catch each other.
That Dagon turnaround just made SE.
Wait, is KP reaching him? He triggers Song of the Siren. He was getting regeneration from the Octarine. He realized he was in range of Samael putting the Blink Dagger on cooldown, so they wait for SC. Too early on the Burrow Strike. The Light Strike Array as well. Samael, where's your freedom? You'll Scepter up. They both spin it round, and then the escape. Samael keeps running and goes for the TP. Burrow Strike from Kaka. Barely misses on the side. Samael will return home to tell of his tale.
He's trying his best to keep him in the game, but Rax under siege. EG just have no strong heroes aside from Samael. No one can really do anything to
They're
them.
locking him down. Universe wants to fight. He's looking for Moogie. Triggers off the BKB from both of them. Zion, the focus fire. It may be enough when the bash from the bear is able to hit. They root up the Ursa. But then again, Lone Druid also ensnared, controlled. The Burrow Strike from Kaka, catching 2. Lone Druid, Arteezy, he's falling, he's fallen, he's down. Samael wants back in again. Another Yule Scepter. They're trying to lay it with SC. Samael has to also avoid. Everyone's just spinning it up in the clouds. More buybacks. Moogie's got himself a double kill. They have to keep the pressure on, however. Newbee push into the base. punish these buybacks if it's possible. They are fighting 4-on-4. The Burrow Strike hits perfectly, catching Zai in the tree lines. They don't see him yet. Now they do. Boogie has his triple kill. The Orchid, the silence is there, but KP, does he actually pop? No, Ursa will survive this. No, he doesn't. The Phoenix Egg, it burned him down. KP will TP away to safety. Meanwhile, Kaka, well, he'll go into the tree, stay where it's safe, and he doesn't get disabled in time. Sumail needed vision to get the Yule Scepter off, but Newbee, they get out, they force the buyback. Still lost a little bit, but EG are still only 1 rank down.
It's still a pretty decent hold for them. They went for the bear, but because he had the axe, they still had to kind of kill the lone druid.
Oh, this is
Twice
cocky.
that fight.
This is cocky from Universe.
They have good vision around the pit, however, and Sand King did have to go all the way back home, and he's not going to be able to deal.
Oh, that would have been nice. Double damage rune. The Observer Ward saw it get picked up. They're pinging. They're pinging heavily, and Kaka's gem reveals the Observer Ward. So he'll jump up, he'll take the ward.
No room for Quelling Blaze this late.
Universe, he's waiting for it. KP's close. It's like with double damage, you want to go in for Roshan. But Zai right now can't even kill off an illusion when he's defending the base.
Trying to pick up more Dagons?
If you've got the money.
If only she had a GPM talent.
Sumail at the moment's going in for Octarine as his next item.
Will, I think, improve his damage output the most by being able to just constantly dag on more and more people. However, he will have to sell the Veil for it.
They're coming.
The last hurrah perhaps from EG as they try and go for the pit. There is no Ursa at this fight, however.
The final roll of the dice. What do they find? Kaka finds himself a Burrow Strike. Quick blink away. Does get silenced. Sumail wants to get the initiation off. Their silence on Sand King lasts a long time, but they still haven't found the damage, EG. For all the control they want to provide, they haven't found the opportunity, and Sumail gets out of the wall in time. Faith might be in trouble. Universe trying to beat him down, but on the back lines again, it's going to be your Ursa doing the work. You've lost 2 already for EG, both without buyback. They turn their attention towards the bear where Savage draws them out, but it's SC, the cannon on the back line, just incapable of being touched by EG. Lone Druid can be stunned up. SC commits up a Laguna Blade, and in comes Kaka. The epicenter. It was the last couple of pulses, but the last is enough. EG will call GG and level the series up 1-1. Newbee shall do with that fight.
A big mistake by EG not being able to control the Roshan pit at all. It just kept getting worse and worse for them. They got vision of the Ursa. The EG jungle, they need to protect the camp so that Zai can get an early creep to start harassing. And normally you do start from around this area if you want to pressure.
30
And we see a
seconds.
smoke already. Kaka with boots first.
They want to be aggressive. They want to get in there. Interesting to also see the movement from SC. The smoke breaks on him, and it's an Observer Ward for Observer Ward. Both sides will understand that ward is down, but as Zai starts the D-warding, Newbee may have the opportunity. They want to go in. Kaka needs to get the Burrow Strike, but Fate's going to begin it with the lift. Pick him up, throw him down, Burrow Strike through. There's no slow. Zai, open wounds on him, back to the tree line, but Moogie with one last force swipe. The Life Stealer shall feast tonight on flesh. Well, they won't reach the rune in time. Faith, you know what he wants to do. He didn't have the range, however, and he also didn't have the cooldown. Telekinesis was coming off cooldown, so it would have been reliant on that level 1 Burrow Strike to work.
And now the Enchantress has to think about securing her safe lane. And that's not really what you want to do. You want to get kills on opposite cores, but Lifestealer is going to be near impossible for her to gank.
Okay, they haven't de-warded the Observe Ward. Maybe Newbee didn't cotton onto that happening. Unless they brought in their own sentry. They used the other sentry to block up the camp on bottom lane.
Yep, just a pull camp though. So Warlock's going to have a much more difficult time. Looks like the first creep will be a Satyr Tormentor to torture these poor supports.
I was trying to push Kaka out of the jungle. But if you're Newbee, you've got to be happy with this as well, because it means SC's not going to take any extra harassment. So he's able just to go one-on-one with Sumail.
Yep, a good matchup for him, for sure.
Yep. So Faith is coming down. They're going to commit. Arca got the Burrow Strike available. Going to go first onto Arteezy. Shadow Word will give a little bit of extra life. Faith still has telekinesis available. The Satyr is on the way from the Enchantress. So if Karka drops down low, he's going to get hit by it. So is Mugi. Arteezy, the life. He has enough to survive. The Shadow Word regeneration was too good. There's another Hadouken off cooldown right now. Let it fly. Faith so low. One more attack will do it. Hadouken in 3, 2, 1. Burrow Strike. Hold it off. Let it fly. Can he actually hit the long fly? Faith! The coattails of the Rubik shall not count as a hitbox.
Man, Kaka's been playing so well in this Sand King. I think sooner or later it might be ban-worthy material. He's just in perfect positions with these stuns and setting up so many plays for them. I also think the way that he split pushes in the mid-game is very problematic and not something that he can do with most supports. But Enchantress doing her work in the early game. That little bit of HP regeneration too, combined with the Shadow Word, made it near impossible to kill the Razor. And Beast is very good normally, but versus heroes on that low of HP doesn't really do enough. It wasn't enough to finish him off.
Love watching this top lane where KB continues to feed the puck power. He's trying to zone out Universe by getting a lot of sticky Napalm charges on him, but because Universe completed a full magic wand, he started with this. He's got 17 wand charges. So even if KP feels like he's got the advantage here, Universe has to get out jail free card.
Universe has a lot more base damage, so pretty much KP will not be able to deny that much at all in this top lane, but with 4 sacks, that is way too threatening to deal with. And Sumail, he does have the Observer Ward, will spot out Kaka, but he just can't come up close enough to creeps.
Kaka's actually in the perfect positioning where the Observer Ward doesn't properly see him until he just moves in and gets hit by the tower. So, why? They have vision on me. I wonder how that happened.
I wonder if he's going to pick up an early level of Slide on the Ember Spirit to perhaps see some...
Just try and dodge Kaka.
Yeah, you can also dodge the Swarm, but the Link will stay on you, sadly.
Well, Kaka's still unable to have an influence when he's perfectly visible. He wants to continue to farm. Spirit Cypher, just a little bit of harassment onto Sumail. His SC 10 CS up above Sumail, wants to keep harassing him out.
Enchantress needs to spread her creeps out. She has a Golem and a Wild King, but the Wild Wing just died and not really able to pressure any of the lanes with this. And also,
she's going to smoke.
Yep.
But she just smoked right on top of the Dire Observer Ward, so Newbee are very well aware.
It's also an impossible kill because Ember Spirit has no mana. There's no way you get this kill by yourself.
He doesn't even have his bottle yet, and this he's just spamming out because he's already got his bottle. Picks up a Clarity, picks up some raindrops.
It's because he opted for the boots first because he wants to be able to break the Spirit Siphon. So he's not going to die, but his farm is going to be very limited because of it.
Also, Zai knows he can't get the kill over in mid, so instead, move up towards the top lane. Now, there's not a lot of damage out from Universe. He got a 2-1-1. Nothing unusual about that, but it just means he doesn't pack a punch if he wants to try and do damage to the Bat Rider.
Faith is just waiting who is going to strike first.
Well, EG are well aware of this. Again, that Observer Ward is still up. It's got another 1 minute left in his life, and Faithful, okay, Zai, get a solo kill, pick up, throw down, stuns up the creeps. There's no Hadouken available, so Faith back to the protection of his tier 1 tower. That Mud Golem wants to go in deeper. The double Mud Golems will actually split out, but Faith back to his own tier 2 tower.
Run, baby, run.
Oh, Ember wants to fight, but you got Sand King as an invis rune. He's ready to go. A quick Burrow Strike. The Spirit Cypher's doing work. The Flame Guard will come up, so Sumail has the protection from the magical damage. But once again, Sumail, short of the money he needs for his bottle, short of any ability and mana to actually push and control this mid lane.
He's just there to survive. He's not really there to get kills. So no deaths, exactly what you want from your Ember Spirit. Yeah, you're going to lose out in CS versus him, but that's okay as long as your Enchantress is getting something. And Zai is forced to run around a lot, but at least he's getting some levels, already level 3 on the edge.
That's good for her. And now she comes up to this top lane. It's where Mugi has come to farm. The Life Stealer still hasn't hit double digits for his last hits, compared to his opposite laner, which is the Puck. 17-11 in for Universe. Had a terrific time on that top lane. Bakaka, they're bringing the reinforcements, and Zai appears to be the one they want. They're not going to claim him, however. Back past the tower, Universe goes further north and starts his own TP. Only back to the tier 1 tower, however, realized he couldn't get past the Newbee lineup.
Enchantress is at that point where she just has ludicrous amounts of move speed.
A prize.
Because she just keeps getting buffed. It's very difficult to catch her out. Ooh, with the haste rune. It's one of the best ones for Sumail. Threatens a lot of kill potential on the Death Prophet, as well as makes it near impossible for her to drain him. So that's another 2-3 minutes that Sumail should skate by without any deaths.
And maybe a good idea to watch how many charges SC is able to actually, well, accrue for the Spirit Siphon.
The bottom lane's been quiet, and Arteezy, with most of the free farm, has to decide what kind of build he wants for this game. We've seen Blade Mail first, I've seen Lances first, I've seen Midas, BOTs, Drums. There's all sorts of different builds that you can go for the Razor. And this game, it's tricky for him. He needs the armor to deal with the Death Prophet and the Lifestealer. Blade Mail isn't particularly good for stuff, but what other armor item can you get? It's not
Newbee's
Blade
picking
Mail.
out the issues on bottom lane. Enchantress has stolen one of the catapults. This is actually quite a large thing with the new changes to the catapults in Kaka. Double Burrow Strike, a nice connection, but a Bond will hold them together, but Arteezy lassoed up. He will end up falling in fifth. If he can get in range for a telekinesis, needs a vision on crit, doesn't actually have it. It's a level 1 telekinesis, so really slow on the range, but it's enough when SC gets a Spirit Siphon off, so crit will end up falling. A double kill for SC.
Very greedy from Arteezy again, not going for the 1 point and unstable currently. It wouldn't have made that big of a difference over there, but he does this often. There's no one for him to lane against, so you actually don't need more levels of the static link this early. But this will slow him down a lot. His farm's actually not particularly good for no one being in the bottom lane for quite some time.
Well, Newbee are going to be very happy with their rotation. Sumail pushed the middle lane in a little bit, but Newbee just had the efficiency. Being able to trigger the shrine for 4 people, put SC back in the lane. Get more and more space for Mugi on that top lane. Now he's got Infest, going to be a lot more difficult for the Enchantress just to straight up gank. Sumail, okay. Turn for Searing Chains. SC's doing a lot of damage. Flame Guard's still protecting him. The physical damage, he jumps up. The damage, it will be enough to survive. With a quick bottle charge and TP home.
Horse weren't even scared. They didn't even fake the TP.
They knew SC was okay. It's going to be even more difficult once he has his Yule Scepter up. We're talking about the fact there's not much of a save for the Death Prophet, but she's had such a good start. Top net worth sitting at 3.6k. Full 700 above the second one, which is the Ember Spirit.
Bottom lane getting pushed pretty heavily. KP, Firefly's almost run out. This tower will fall.
The Burn Fortification is still available. They do it on 29 HP.
Dyer's bottom tower is under
KP
attack.
knows it's not
Dyer's
worth
bottom
coming in
tower
range for the
has
denial.
fallen.
Potentially getting caught out by the Dream Coil. The support didn't come in time. Kaka arrives, but it's already a little bit too late.
And a non-greedy build already coming out for Arteezy. Phase boots first for him. No more farming items. Moves going to be pretty key for him. Kite the Lifestealer, kite the Death Prophet. Maybe a phase drone build might be optimal for this stage of the game.
Keep the movement speed up, keep the early fight items going, and make sure he can tank through everything while he tries to steal a lot of damage. Makes sense. How's Mugi looking on that Lifestealer? Looks like Armlet's going to be his first item of choice. Still needs more time to farm up, but he has bought a lot of space on this top lane. Now contesting Razor for that third net worth position. With Arteezy on the top lane, support has to arrive. KP, as well as Faith are on the way under the cover of smoke. They will be able to come up behind Crit. And because they're taking the southern road, they're not actually going to have Crit trigger their smoke until now. So they can move up. They understand that he's got to be nearby in Faith. Well, they move to the other side. They want Arteezy. They don't want Crit. Crit doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so he's no threat to this Newbee lineup. Faith, however, Arteezy with that damage will be. But you get a Rubik in return for both a Warlock and a Razor Death? No, they back up. Sumail with a double damage rune has arrived. And they will not take the engagement, Newbee. They're happy at the 1-1 trade.
Sccc was posed near the bounty rune for a fight, but no fight happened there. Other most heroes were there, but Arteezy at least still getting some kills before he goes down in a couple of these fights. Looks like Drums will be the build coming out from him.
They bring Arteezy back to that top lane. The Dire Observed Ward is paying dividends. The one sitting in front of that tier 1 tower. Crit does have his level 6, so Newbee, they have a big choice here. Do they want to try and contest
Dyer's
this?
top tower is under attack.
Is it worth holding the tier 1 tower?
I think with Exorcism, you definitely can. But with Batrider using Firefly for
Radiant's middle
creeps,
tower is under attack.
not going to have a big tool available to him. And
Dire's top
Sccc
tower
is not
is
even
under
there. He
attack.
will blow Exorcism on the mid lane.
Yeah, Gashlik's crit. Oh, he faked the first rock drop, hit the second one. SC needs to run. He needs the movement speed and life, but he's got it. So you already bait out the Warlock Golem. SC should not continue to take that punch. He's so low, and Crit actually gets the last tick of damage to ensure the kill. Mugi, however, looking for revenge, won't happen. Doesn't have that control from Karka. I don't know if
Is under attack.
really that was the intention of SC to go back and take the last punch from the Golem.
I think he took 2 hits from that.
He did.
Maybe he didn't see the Shadow Word on him. I'm not exactly sure. It was a max Shadow Word from Warlock. Usually don't see that maxed up, so perhaps expecting level 2, maybe 3 perhaps. Early upheaval, often the choice for these specific
Dire's
classes
middle
of
tower
Warlocks.
is under attack.
Newbee's coming into the mid. They're looking for Crit. SC's able to get the slow from the Spirit Cypher, combining up with the open wind Karka. Nice Fire Strike, actually keeping Razor out of the play on the back line. But in comes your Emperor Spirit, but a fires a fifth into the double Spirits. Samael, so much damage to give him a double kill with Zai behind him. They may just have enough to wipe Newbee underneath their own tier 1 tower. Faith running distraction plus Sable with that telekinesis grab.
Yeah, that small mistake by Death Prophet ending up costing them huge as EG get away with a big team fight there.
And they actually pushed the towers as well. Took the tier 1 tower after that top fight. And now the mid tier 1 tower, that's all the tier 1 towers lost from Newbee.
Dire's
A
middle
dangerous
tower has
prospect
fallen.
when you're only 13 minutes into the game and the Enchantress is getting momentum.
Certainly so. And keep in mind that the kill for the Death Prophet also went to the Warlock. You don't really want to feed Warlock these early kills too. Give him that early Midas and things just get worse and worse. You want to keep him as broke as possible.
You want Baroque, you can look at the Rubik. He's sitting on 1k gold. The other one who's really short of his item is Karka. That bottom lane Sand King still praying for a Blink Dagger. It took him forever to actually complete his magic wand.
They've been forced to run around a lot and try and put out fires around the map, but they didn't really yield too many returns. And also the Batrider has been forced to fight a lot with him. However, he is closing in on his Blink Dagger after this wave. He should be able to get it. So now perhaps time for them to smoke up. You make use of their infest bombs to try and pick off some heroes. However, I'm not sure how many heroes they can exactly kill with the infest bomb. He's not that farmed on the Lifestealer. He also has no Blightstone on the Lifestealer, which I think would be really crucial for getting these picks during that very short duration disable from the lasso.
Even just a casual one would be nice. Doesn't need to convert to anything later on if he doesn't want to.
He's also versus low armor heroes. Like Ember's pretty low armor. Enchantress is very low armor as well.
Bottom lane Karka. Run through the tree lines, Burrow strike down. All the fatal bonds are it. Oh, Sai! The Centaur's at the right place at the right time on the right bat channel. So you kill off the Sand King. The pressure will now come to the tier 2 tower. Zai does need a little bit of mana. The one charges will give it to him, so now at least he has Rock. He won't have enough for any kind of combination. And no one's really running mana boots. Even Universe is shy of his
Dire's
Blink Dagger.
bottom tower is under attack.
And they're doubling up on the drums too. One on Zai, one on Arteezy. I think this T2 push will be much more difficult without it. But they also have level 4 untouchable on Zai in case they do want to
Great coil is out. KP being caught out. Mugi wants to go in. The Rock will drop, but SC turning on the Exorcism. They want to retreat back to safety. Their tier 2 tower, but Smell won't allow it. Here comes your proper Rock. In she goes. Arteezy is the double kill. It was the control from Crit that does the work and keeps the movement forward.
very nice retreat by them too. And there's that observer ward to the left, so if you TP get a shrine, even if you have the smoke, it's gonna pop, and they were able to get the coil onto the Batrider, which is just devastatingly bad for him. That was supposed to be their blink reveal, the infest bomb. That was supposed to be their ticket to get a hold on this mid game. But now you can transition easily into more T2s with the drums or the Roche with the max and Hustle. He's already prepared for this.
This is a terrible position right now for Newbee. They do have the heroes which will allow him to come back in, but moments like this, your Infest Bomb, which just ends with a rock drop, holding him in position, and the retreat to the tower, but Samael, the perfect time to come from behind. And you can try and drop that rock in return from the Rubik, but it just, nope.
And also, they use Exorcism. Death Prophet uses Exorcism and then immediately die. That is your worst nightmare as a Death Prophet. You're already struggling to get farm, but you need towers, you need to win some more team fights, and they're doing none of the above.
Double damage!
It's wonderful for you, Enchantress. She has the range creep as well.
Her voice is so happy.
I just love how she actually prioritizes keeping this siege creep. As long as she can keep this up every time they win the fights, you got more and more push.
They need that extra little bit of damage too, because they don't have great tower hitters. Razor's like so-so, but he doesn't have great range. Ember is the worst, and Enchantress she has the good range, but she doesn't have any attack damage or any survivability. So having these extra little bit of creeps to reinforce their T2 siege is pretty imperative, and they will try round 2 with another smoke. Tower of Firefly has just been popped.
But they got the target. They have Arteezy as well as Zai, but no. KP doesn't want it.
The problem is if he goes on the Enchantress, then he gets linked up immediately by the Razor, and the Life Stealer will immediately die. And if you go on the Razor, you probably won't kill the Razor, and both of you guys will die, because you'll get the unstable current as soon as you lasso him. So there was no good target for him.
Lose-lose situation. EG probably understood that as well. They radiant scanned the bottom entrance through the river, so they understood that Newbee wasn't coming from the south. They move in force to the north, and Newbee have to back out.
They definitely need a blink on Sand King to be able to have some of these fights. They need to lure them into a position where they can turn around with Epicenter. I think that's the big X factor in these fights that they really need to win a team fight. It's not going to be extra.
They may not have the time. SC, the drum charge gets triggered. They'll see him. The jump forward and Dream Coil commits, even connects onto Faith as well. Arteezy going for double kills, letting SC die to the rest of his team while hunting down Faith past the tier 2 tower. And this just turns into a push and more dominance from EG.
And this quick pace of game is what Newbee fears the most. They aren't able to match the early roaming of the Enchantress. They don't have any time to farm with the support items. One of the biggest weaknesses of a Sand King is very useless in this 5 to 20 minute phase of the game if you don't have a Blink Dagger. How's he supposed to initiate? How's he supposed to escape from these fights? How's he supposed to get off a good Epicenter?
Even if he does now, Arteezy has just brought up the Blade Mail. So anyone you want to initiate on, especially if it's the Razor, you're just not going to be able to kill him.
Yep, now he has plenty of armor.
Courier still has to make the full trip back out, so they have that opportunity while he doesn't have the Blade Mail. Kaka into the rear, Burrow Strike needs to get the Epicenter off. It's the slow and the damage with the rocket. Fatal Bond! It's huge with the Spirit Jump! It is an absolute disaster in the mid lane. Run away, Newbee, as fast as you can, but there may be no port, a safe one. Well, jump inside a Wild Wing, but it's a neutral. That can be killed. It can be claimed. And the Impetus will do the work. The Slide of Fist doesn't do enough damage. The armor toggle from Mugi gets him back to the tier 3 towers. But you could see Warlock just winding up that Golem for the punch.
And you mentioned it's like, why pick the Rubik? He's not that huge team fighter that they need. Instead, we see the Warlock in the perfect position. He's just outside of the map, and look at that Remnant with Fatal Bonds. My goodness.
Brutal. Savage. Pond.
Yeah, the Veil too. Oh my.
Oh. Well, consolation prize will be the Golem. At least he gets 100 gold for that.
Newbee still has some life left in them. Sand King very close to his Blink Dagger. Kaka just needs 300 gold.
They just need those jumps to work then. But how do you do that when EG, they're not giving you the opportunities until they have the Golem up? And then
it's more
you got to take a 5-on-5 fight.
It's you bait out the rock. You infest bomb on somebody. You let your Batrider die because there's no way he's going to survive that. Your Life Stealer has magic immunity, and then after that, you go in with the Epicenter, you go in with the Exorcism, and then that's how you win the fight. I don't really foresee them winning a fight in any other way, because I think they're the ones that are going to be forced to jump onto EG, not the other way around. If Newbee wait too long, then Death Prophet or any other healer just get blown up by the Puck combo with the Veil and the Emperor.
The pings are coming under Roshan at the moment. Another point where Newbee will have to look. The Ultram Universe are keeping a very close eye on it.
Okay, there's a smoke. Finally, they had the Blink Dagger on Kaka. This is their time to make a play. They need this to work out.
Okay, do they fight or do they Roche? That's the question.
They have to fight. Their Roches, it's not good.
Okay,
not
well,
good enough.
the fact that SC just Crypt Swarmed the mid lane, think they understand what's going on, and the Radiant scan actually gets triggered as well. So even more information coming the way of Evil Geniuses. They know exactly where Newbee is attacking from, and they will dodge. The Razor pushing the bottom, the Enchantress pushing the top. So they'll let Newbee have that mid-tier 1 tower and waste the smoke.
And now it goes back. Do you want to do the Roach? This T1 tower is not even down though. Sccc slowly trying to right-click it, but this is slow. They're getting so much out of the side lanes, and their position has been revealed.
Radiant's middle tower.
Well, there goes
has
the tier 1 tower. That's a minion army
Dire's
pushing the
top
top
tower
lane
is
to the
under
top tier
attack.
2 tower. While that's happening, Newbee might feel about retreating, so EG should understand exactly where they're going to go. And with that, they smoke up. They look to come through the rear. Quick
Dire's
observe the
top
waters
tower
underneath
is
the
under
Dire
attack.
sentry. Obviously, Fate doesn't have the extra vision. Needs to run or turn around to get some level of control, but the perfect silence is out. No way to reply because the jump comes so quickly.
I don't think they can think about Roach though. Their right-click damage is just really low. Their like objective taking is okay.
No, take the fight. You've got the golem up and running.
Yeah.
Just push, get Newbee to fight you. If they
Dire's top
don't,
tower is
then you
under
just
attack.
keep pressuring the towers. Use the Enchantress, Stolen Creeps to push.
They've been very aggressive about using all their jump charges. Razor is almost out. Enchantress is almost out. But they've claimed a lot of T2s with what seems to be a very poor pushing lineup. And potentially they can just get Ags on Razor and then try and end the game in a timely manner before Newbee can get their big team fight.
Do you feel like they need to be pressured to actually build the Ags, or just feel confident enough in the team fights?
Their tower push is so weak that you have to have some sort of building hitter.
Well, the Aghanim Scepter would fill up for that. But it does add the way. That's a spillage.
The only mistakes he makes are out of game.
Okay, so if he messes up the next team fight, it's because he got monster in his eye. The retina starts to burn.
Ah, good old monster. Just wait till you queue someone up on the wrong server. What? What are you giving me that shake of head, Toby?
Nothing, Melanie.
That was an epic moment. I can't believe that actually happened. That sounds like just a fable.
See, that's what you need for the hype off. That's exactly the
Throwing
moment you
monster
need
at
for the
people?
hype. That's exactly what you need. The classic moments of history of Dota. And then those players retired. Or one of them at least.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah. So let's think a little bit more about this game. We are now, well, 22 minutes into it. EG are in a commanding position holding control of the map. Is there a late game that Newbee can play for?
You can't think that far ahead. You have to start with an early game.
Okay.
You lose the T2, you lose Roche, you get Ags on Razor, you have to defend the high ground. You can't think about 20 minutes into the future. It will not last that long.
Okay, so high ground defense then.
High ground defense, yeah.
How do you itemize and position yourself to actually defend high ground? You seem to have a decent amount of clearance with like Feybolt and Crypt Swarm. Most creep waves should survive getting into the high ground.
Theoretically, but Razor with a heal, a double heal too. You have the Nature's Tennis and you have the Shadow Word. Those are very good at sustaining through this sort of scam that normally would be good enough to thwart any sort of high ground push. But the problem with Newbee is like they have big teamfight ultimates. If you cast Exorcism, they'll just run away, push 30 seconds later. If you waste an Epicenter or waste a Lasso, it's also the same story. So they have to be able to hit all of these exactly as it do.
Not an easy thing, especially when we saw a couple of hiccups coming up through game 2. That was the SK of the man who's actually disconnected at the moment, which is Kaka, missing some critical burrow strikes. This game has been a little bit better for him for his stuns and his epicenter channels. There's been very few interruptions for him when it comes to that, but the positioning, the blink decker still took so long that we haven't really felt the real influence of what the SK is capable of.
I've seen a lot more EG jerseys in the crowd than Newbies. Does Newbee even have a jersey? I guess I haven't really seen people with it.
I don't know if it's available in this shop. Maybe it's just EG throwing away jerseys. Hey everyone, get some EG free merchandise. You see their Twitter poking that out all the time. It's just like, hey, would you like to put your name on this?
They're not that generous. Please, OP. They're American. Corporate greed. at its
PPD
finest.
PPD has to pay for all of his flights. So yeah, the only way to do it.
So will you do business, Toby?
America.
America indeed. So we have some issues of his comp keeps resetting from KP, speaking about Kaka, so it might still be a little bit longer.
Yeah, hopefully not too long. Everything is still pretty stable here. I don't think either of these teams are going to get too shaken out by this. It's a pause. We've been through this kind of stuff before.
I think it's way worse for Newbee, this sort of pause, because your mentality is sort of in the sort of sense that you can't lose a fight. If you lose a big fight, this game is probably lost. Like if you get 4-0, 5-0, so you can't lose that moment of concentration. Whereas EG, yeah, they could afford to give up a few deaths here and there. It's not that big of a deal for them.
At the same time, I don't know. Like it seems with Newbee, like we saw with the previous pause, like Newbee was there. They were working through scenarios. That was even just the draft stage. So SC keeps the team pretty well focused. I don't know if they're going to slack off a little bit in their mindset to play, or if this actually buys them more time to consider the better plan. Like, how do we actually go against this? Do we want to go for like the same kind of stuff we're talking about? Do we try and play for the late game? Do we have enough confidence in just our counter push abilities alone to hold them out, and then we play for the 45-50 minute win, as opposed to let's just deal with what we've got in front of us?
What you're speaking of is the mentality of like, should they commit to more farming items or more team fighting items?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely team fighting items. If you go for a Midas right now, you just lose. So there's not really that other great of an option for them, right?
Yeah.
You have to build team fight. You have to win the team fight.
Well, the only other
It's as
thing
simple as that.
The only other thing is the initiation items over the strength items. So,
And we have a G.
yeah, we have good to go. So let's restart it up and get back into the game.
So
When we
we're back.
last left this story, EG were pushing top tier 2 tower, and Newbee was scrambling to get their other side lanes pushed out to relieve some of the pressure.
Top tower.
With a very decisive 10,000 gold lead for EG. All the T2s have been taken down, and they are still 2,000 gold away from Razor's Scepter. I think that's the big item that they're missing, combined with the Aegis of the Immortal from the Newbee. They have to take a fight, though. You cannot wait and just wait to get Siege. I think there's too much mobility from EG. They can exit the fight at will, I think. Razor's a very fast hero, especially with the double loose speed build. You have Ember Spirit who can just Remnant out, and Puck, who's one of the most elusive heroes in the game. So, like, if you just wait for your high ground, they're gonna just fight you endlessly.
Well, they got one position where they can fight this one. They're going for it. It's the Observe Ward, the high ground that gives them the vision on Arteezy. Blink, Lasso, it's the Invest Bomb. Arteezy, the Burrow Strike will bring him down. Newbee, heeding your advice, move out, find a kill. Now they look towards Roshan. SC even commits the Exorcism. They don't want EG pushing high ground with the advantage of the Aegis.
And there's no smoke, it looks like, from the Radiant side, and EG are just gonna have to let this
Crit's
one
coming.
go for free.
Crit's coming over. Push down the sentry ward at least. There's a troll coming in to get a little bit of extra vision. Orb from Samael. He snatched one Aegis to David with that orb down. Maybe it's not possible anymore. Another troll. Crit fakes the rock. Roshan almost dead. It is on the ground. Aegis Immortal is there, but here goes your rock. The damage is split with the Fatal Bonds. Where's your return? It doesn't even really exist. It was a return chaotic offering from Faith that creates more space for the Dream Call from Samael. It's the Dream Bakaka. Wants to go back in. He will with the Epicenter and Burrow Strike. The trading off right now. It's a 2 for 2, but with the Aegis Immortal, Life Stealer back to the world of the living. Samael chasing SC under the shrine. He'll trigger it, but it's all too late. Nuki, he needs more kills. Looking for Samael, but Samael is just, Universe is way too quick. Blinking up, getting away, and then TPing out to safety.
Wow, that's about as bad as it gets. I did not foresee them being able to get a kill on the Razor for just Lasso. That's all they needed to commit to that fight.
It was the ward. They had one place where they had vision. That's all they had, and they made it work.
Even without the ward, if they see Razor farming, I still think they go for it. Even if they don't know that no one's behind them, they still go for it. And
So we look at it again.
There was no orb there, so they didn't have any vision inside. You can't blink in when you don't have no idea how slowly the Rosh is going down.
Fate's positioning was so good. He hit 3 heroes with that chaotic offering and also caught out Samael on that Ember Spirit.
Yep, and he gets silenced up by the long duration silence and is dead to rights. Kaka, big epicenter coming on through, and
Hey.
yeah.
And I can correct my call with Universe being on the puck. He was the man who got the Dream Call off in that fight.
Well, now the gold lead has tightened to less than 7,000 off the back of that, and EG's dream of going high ground below the
Radiant's
430
bottom
are dashed after that.
And it's going to be more. Like, it's the confidence for Newbee to push across the river. Boogie's taking the tier 1 tower on bottom lane with no contest from EG. And they know they don't want to. KP, Firefly's up. He'll see the Observe Ward planted down. And this is a critical thing to lose, is vision. EG need this to know when Newbee push out to see when this Bat Rider's looking for an Infest Bomb.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of things that can prevent the Infest Bomb from killing the Razor. He did go for the drums and the Blade Mail, but Blade Mail, you usually get Lasso before you can pop anything, and that little bit of armor is not going to really help you too much.
Samael can give his Lincolns. Like, that's one thing they could do.
But he could have also just built the Lincolns himself to begin with, and then you don't have to worry too much about the force time, and it provides you a fairly decent HP buffer while giving you some sort of semblance of armor. Yeah. Again, the Blade Mail is not that great versus heroes with huge amounts of Lifestealer himself, and the Spirit Siphon from the Death Prophet, as well as being able to use yourself, being invulnerable while dishing out.
But as you said, like, he needed to have a little bit of extra armor. He still needs to have the Aghanim's for the push.
There's still plenty of other items. You can go like Solar Crest, let's say. Solar Crest has been insanely popular on cores, and it looks like they are prioritizing on the Warlock, but I don't think that Blade Mail was the item.
Well, Newbee are going to enjoy this moment. See how long that moment does last.
Radiant's top tower
As EG will slowly start to balance things out, even though both Gold and Experience is starting to level out between the two teams at around the 0 mark. And SC will push the top lane. Catapults there as well as the creep wave. EG are arriving on the bottom lane with a stolen dire catapult. SBKP, the first man to TP in, has his Firefly available, looking for the target. And they are going to find Universe. They may also see the remnant of the Ember Spirit in the tree line. So KP, how confident do you feel to wait for Samael? He ain't jumping to that. There's no way. Everyone's retreating back out again. And it's the Rubik Golem that got pushed down the top lane that's just forcing the lane. I think a little bit harder for Samael to come back.
Surely. And I think Sumia wanted to make the same approach that he did near that T2, be able to wrap around stragglers just in case. You can always throw a Remnant back if you are a little bit scared. And now Mugi finally completing a little bit more burst with the Desolator. He doesn't have any anti-Razor items, but it does synergize best with the Bat Rider. He just needs to be able to kill people during Lasso.
The quick pops. That's what they need.
Ghost Scepter, I think, is actually pretty good too for potential later on versus the Infest Bomb if they can afford it. But the problem with that is it doesn't provide that much armor before you complete it. Ghost Scepter itself not particularly good if you can't pop it.
But now Samael is focusing on getting his damage up, so while focusing onto the Maelstrom. Puck is going for his Ags on this episode. They're both going to go for the Ags upgrades. Both Puck as well as Razor. And there's your Solar Crest now completed on the Warlock.
The ads for Puck is interesting. Like, Death probably usually doesn't care about sitting in the coil, let's say, but it will guarantee a lot of damage stolen for the Razor. But the problem is I don't know if the Razor's going to survive. He doesn't have BKB. He's also not going for the BKB. He was at the same point in his item build when they were pushing into T2 right after the pause. That was a while ago. Still about 2,000 gold away, or maybe 1,000 gold away now from a Scepter, but
they're coming again. They want to fight again. That BKB just got freshly completed for SC. So his immunity is there. Won't be as concerned about the Warlock. Also got to keep your eyes on that Rubik. Can't believe actually how many times Faith has been able to steal the Golem and then return it in the fight. I think he's got a 3 for 3. He's attempted it. It's quite high.
Keeping track.
It's quite high for him.
It's pretty impressive without having any range increasing items or
no blink, no Force Staff. He's just got Glimmer Cape. Jump in, Dream Calls, nice over on 2, but KP triggers the BKB, still with the Life Stealer inside, jumps over, Lasso, they find the Raider, the Rock will drop, it connects over on Faith, only steals Spirits, tries to jump back in again, but it's TG losing 2, the damage from SG as well as Mugi is just too high. Universe and Samael on the run, Sticky Napalm will make it very, very difficult for Samael. Searing Chains will keep the Bat Rider in position, and then he Spirits backwards. And how far can he go? Far enough to get away from the rest of Newbee. And TP out safely under the cover of fog.
just wasting a little bit of their time, sending him on a wild goose chase. But again, Razor dies at the start of the fight. They try and drop the rock, still it's not enough damage prevention for them. They need more items to buff up the Razor, and whether it's like Lotuses, Solar, which they did have, but I don't think they were able to cast on the Razor in time. It's just extremely bad for the Razor when he just dies at the start of the fight without getting any of his spells off.
But it's funny too, like where the start of the fight is. Like Universe is starting the fight on like the far eastern side of that dire jungle, and Newbee, they almost accept it. They have enough to get him out. The BKB was able to protect KP. Second they see Razor, they shift everything onto Arteezy. He's the primary target, #1, bring him down, and then they deal with everybody else.
Yeah, he's our best anti-BKB at this point, and with Rage always going to be a problem, and 2 BKBs on the other cores, then they need some anti-BKB damage. But if you kill Razor to start, you're going to lose the fight.
Yeah. And there's nothing Arteezy can really do about it. What's he going to do? Like,
He had to itemize better against this particular situation of being Lasso Infested Bomb, but he thought that they were far ahead enough that he could go for a more high ground sieging build, but unfortunately it hasn't panned out for them because of that one pickup in the mid lane.
are they capable of doing that though? Because it seems these fights keep happening for Newbee on their side of the river, but outside the base. They're getting better positioning on the map when it happens. Can EG just force this into a focus point? Do they just force it towards the tier 3 towers?
No way.
As a 5-man team?
Lasso past the T3s into their shrines is an impossible fight for EG.
Well, it seems like fighting outside the base is also impossible with the Razor.
It just takes a little bit better kiting. If they have a 4-step on the Razor to get some distance in between him and the Lifestealer, then he can survive. He can start linking up the Lifestealer, render the Lifestealer useless, and turn around and dish out some damage. But he needs to survive that initial burst again and again. And it needs to be consistent too. It can't be like, oh, we got lucky with whatever, interrupting the Fat Rider's blink, or we got lucky with Razor facing
Oh,
the right way.
the jump. They found another one. It's going to be the Warlock. Shadow Word is the only thing stolen by Faith. Roshan will spawn up in 36 seconds.
But perfect timing from these fights from Newbee.
They can find another one.
This is,
Did they actually find Zai with the Observer Ward? It's just far enough away, but they see the camps being pulled.
they can't get the Lifesteal into the fight. No Infest and no Blink on him, so they're not really looking for picks right now, looking for objectives. Roshan wasn't up, but
Radiant's
get a pick
middle
comes right
tower
before
is
Roshan.
under
Without
attack.
Rock, there's no chance of them seeing the Razor. But looking at the defensive items, there is finally a Pike up on Enchantress, so we could be looking for that item to save the Precious Razor, or perhaps the Solar Press on Crit,
Radiant's middle
which
tower
could
has
also
fallen.
potentially save the Razor.
Well, there goes the tower. Roshan should be coming up in just a second. But Newbee, they're not scouting it out. The ping is coming in. But instead, they're looking for a fight. They're looking for just one person to be out of position. Lasso in 15 seconds. A decent amount of time. And they smoke. They're coming out. Zai's smoke, is it going to break? He's so close to Kaka, and Kaka is the man currently holding the Lifestealer inside of him.
And they have the ice armor onto Razor. This could be enough for him potentially to survive the burst from the Lifestealer. And Mugi going all out offensive with the crystals. Double downing on being able to kill people during the Infest Bomb.
Really wants that KP. Able to blink himself away before the Plaza Field's able to connect. EG understanding exactly where Newbee is. They pushed the bottom lane in so hard that the tier 3 tower dropped to 480 HP.
It's a little bit scary for them. They can't lose shrines this early.
Yep. That tier 3 tower has to remain alive. So SC's trying to do the counter push at the moment. EG establishing vision dominance plus positional dominance on the Newbee jungle. And Newbee are on the hunt. Underneath their own shrine, they might be happy to find this one. Blink Lasso, Arteezy needs to survive the rock. It connects on 4. The Fatal Bonds will also connect him up as well, but the damage is done. Razor is down, and this feels like a very similar situation. SC, all the damage on the immunity. Samel can pick up the back line, sure, but the damage is still there and moving from Newbee. The puck all forward, a quick spirit jump. Your Scepter will protect that Death Prophet while she's trapped inside the Dream Coil of Universe. The epicenter does almost no damage, but it's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Caps the extra one, which was crit inside the Roshan pit. It's KP hunting him down. So 3 heroes down, no buybacks available. If Newbee want to, they can just move in for Roshan.
They don't have exorcism, so that may be making them a little bit more hesitant. But again, they didn't throw everything onto the Razor. They threw one extra thing, which was the Ice Armor, but this is like the third time he's died with very little increase in his items. They need far more than that. They need to dump perhaps a Lincoln Sphere on him. They need to perhaps even preemptively throw Shadow Word on him, I would say at this point. And of course the Solar Crest, which just has not been enough. Razor, it's a simple story for Newbee. Kill Razor, win the fight.
Just rinse and repeat every single time. And because of that Firefly vision, they're able to find him.
His net worth is drastically low at this point too.
What's he actually hit? So he's sitting just shy of 11,000, but above him on 16k almost each is the Death Prophet and the Lifestealer. You still have Sumail a long way up, sitting at 18,000-ish. And he's adding pressure to the bottom lane. Someone's going to come back for this. Roshan is only just now beginning for Newbee.
Oh, he gets a free C3 out of this. I'm not worried that Roshan is going to be worth it for them.
Yeah, it really may not be. No one's coming back to defend it. They have to use the fortification. Taka, he's now starting his TP. Actually canceled his TP. He's sticking around. No one's forcing out the lane. Instead, they get the Blink Lasso. Is it really happening again? Arteezy with the Epicenter and the Death Prophet Exorcism. Arteezy's gone for 51 seconds. No buyback available, but the tier 3 tower is dropped on the bottom lane. So the shrines become exposed. And KP will come back to defend. Without the Exorcism, is it still worth looking to the high ground?
Threaten at least, I would say, with the Razor buyback, but this time probably the most useful of Arteezy's deaths as he trades his life for a T3 tower. But with the Aegis in tow, it's just, what, maybe a minute and a half until Death Prophet exorcism them up, and then they're realistically going to have to think about defending high ground themselves.
Yep.
This game has
Radiant's top
completely
tower
turned on its
is
back
under
as
attack.
Newbee have just found way better fights.
That's why Sumail is doing his thing on bottom. Continuously pressure. Dodge any kind of gank coming in from Newbee, but keep the presence of at least one of those initiation heroes on bot lane. KP being that one.
It's very hard, though, to split push against a Bat Rider with Lasso and Infest. So, or even the Sand King with Infest Bomb. They can pick off any hero that's not the Ember Spirit. The Ember Spirit with a Force Staff into a Burrow Strike, he could potentially die. Maybe not once he gets his other armor item. He did go for Flame Guard Absorption, not the armor talent at level 20, so he is going to need a little bit more armor on that Ember Spirit.
Which is why he's building in for the Shiva's Guard.
Yeah, but ideally you want the Razor to be able to build this. Like, where his item progression, his drums are useless right now because
he finished Aghanims, right? He got to Aghanims, man. The BKB can come shortly after.
that's just more HP for Lifestealer to feast, though. Is BKB even going to save him?
At this point of the game, he's being initiated before he could even hit the button for BKB.
Yeah,
And if he does hit the BKB button, he's still lassoed up, and the physical damage of the Lifestealer rips him apart. Same with the Exorcism. You've got two huge sources of physical damage coming in from Newbee, where immunity from magic, it only stops the pop.
Yeah, it might actually be time to build something like Halberd. It's not the greatest item on Razor, but a lot of the items overlap. Like, you already have a Shiva's. You're not going to be able to farm an AC. The Solar Crest has already been built, so your actions are, options are very limited. Vlad's is a very poor choice with no melee heroes on his team. And, yeah.
Very smart from Sumail. TP down, just as Newbee brought almost their entire force to the bottom lane. The only one that's not there is Kaka, who starts his TP. Sumail starts his Sleight of Fist, actually connected on Kaka with it. But didn't connect on the Searing Chains. So Newbee pushed to the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
But EG
attack.
are now doing what they like to do. Let's do a split push. Look for another tier 3 tower if they can claim it.
They can't take a team fight. They can only do that if Newbee aren't there at all, but they still know they cannot take a team fight. Evade, evade, evade. It's going to be the next name of the game.
You just have Arteezy with his Aghanims ulti already going on the fight. So if he does get grabbed, at least he does some level of damage.
Like 10 strikes with that sword.
Something like that. Kaka right behind him. Has the Burrow Strike available as it actually hits the
Dire's
stun.
top tower is under attack.
Sumail will get into the tree line thanks to this little remnant away. Arteezy starts his TP out, will succeed.
Close. And it seems like Kaka is actually going for more Disable 2, more instant cast 2. He already has a Eul's to pop in Lincoln, now he's going for a Scythe of Vice on the Sand King. Pretty well on his way towards it. His net worth is 8, but it's still very, very high, all things considered.
He's going to end up triggering every Lincoln Sphere that EG will want to buy if they can even afford them.
Yep. Normally he goes for the Ags, but he doesn't really need to escape this game because EG aren't hunting him down at all. Kaka doing the hunting.
There's going to be more hunting as well with KP if he can pick up that Shadow Blade of his. And getting close, as we can see on the graphs, the advantage. The experienced one swings and shows the story a lot better for Newbee. A long way ahead. And they're coming in.
Radiant's top tower
With the
is
cheese
under
on the
attack.
death propper, she's very confident in the front lines with Octarine as well. It's a lot of regeneration. And the life stealer is 100 gold. So once this tower will drop, he'll have enough for the full Bloodthorn.
The Bloodthorn is great for multiple reasons. Firstly, it gets rid of the Solar Crest evasion onto the lassoed Razor. And secondly, just really good at popping Lincolns and just dealing with these elusive heroes like the Puck and Ember Spirit, who need to be silent for long durations of time in order to be killed. So, Aegis will not be a great use for them. It will time out shortly.
It's just about getting control of the map back again. There's no reason to force any kind of high ground fight. You can wait for the next Roshan, because he may spawn up in 3 minutes, he may spawn up in 6. It's just the timer they have to wait for. But in the meantime, Newbee are building up bigger and bigger. With the Bloodthorn done, Mugi is able to have some really good control against that Puck, who's only got the Yule Scepter to try and dispel it. His supports can't really help out. There's no Lotus Orbs to help out just yet. They need more time. And while time goes on, initiation also gets better. There's that Shadow Blade I was talking about on KP. With BKB, they can't interrupt his initiation. The Aghanim Scepter is there for Universe, but the initiation from KP, when he jumps in, they kill him on the spot. It's not about a drag back for Newbee. This will be easier too for Kaka. Crit, can't do anything. Shadow Words himself up, so that'll end up getting stolen by Faith. Doesn't want to commit anything larger, because if he does, he'll end up just giving it over towards the Rubik. So, quite a simple kill for Newbee.
Still, they keep looking for +1. They know that Warlock isn't terribly effective at pushing on lanes out himself, just trying to cover someone's tracks, just in case they get jumped, which was the Ember Spirit in this case.
SC trying to be really quick on Universe. Couldn't get an attack in, hence the blink away was successful.
Now more anti-split pushing items coming in so that Death Prophet can finally go for that huge culminating fight outside of the T3 tower. That's what they're aiming for very, very shortly, so they can sweep a team fight and get that much closer to victory.
Inch by inch, get one game up in the grand final. You'd be happy with that.
It's kind of sad that the Lifestealer hasn't had to build any anti-Razor items. Razor is seen as a hard counter to Lifestealer, but this game
you don't need it. Like Razor is deleted for the fight at the very start.
Wow, BOT2 is committed by the Death Prophet.
Well, it's probably the only way she can get directly into the fight at the start.
They can have extra damage combined with the lasso. Now they can just TP her in with exorcism to catch a hero like the Razor, even if he BKBs and tries to run away. But now Sumail is still retaining the net worth lead despite EG losing a lot of back and forth the last 10, 40 minutes.
Well, Sumail spent most of his time doing what, well, we see Naga do earlier today. Split push, split push, split push. Keep Newbee on the back foot, keep Newbee wondering if they can push him without having a level of trade. And this is what they want to do. There's that VT going to work. Arteezy, he doesn't get to do anything at all. Blade Mail was triggered, but they just don't care. As you said, the regeneration's just too high. And now they're going to try and force the buyback. It's already a 13,000 net worth Arteezy. He'll have to spend 1,200 to get back into this fight, and he has no other choice. SC with Exorcism is going to force into the tier 3 tower. So either you let this mid-rax go, or you buy back on Razor. So the jump in, quick slide up, get the damage on the SC quite high. Remember, he's still got the cheese. Defensive Yule Scepter up to start with, and they just force-staff him away. And Glimmer Cape for safety.
T3 is still up though, but is Razor even that integral to EG's defense?
They're pulling the rock skis. Go out, go back in again. Look for the opening.
Their team fight's much weaker though. No Infest, no Exorcism. Lasso just cooled down, but might as well play it a little bit safe. Roshan is so close to respawning.
Well, they can still just rely on KP. Like, he's infested inside of him at the moment. So they can still go for the jump with the lasso.
However, it's EG's turn now. They have to be able to take a fight now, or else the impending Aegis push might be their doom. How do they actually initiate these fights? I think it's just all up to the Ember Spirit to just cause havoc everywhere. Stop blinks, preemptively pop KPs, and just enter and exit the fight at their will so that Razor can finally come in and nullify the effects of the Lifestealer. But no, Sumail can do everything on his own.
Well, they're going to try it. 5-man smoke up. Roshan could have already come in. Kaka, the Burrow Strike and Blink away, actually broke the smoke of Evil Geniuses. He was so close and didn't even know. Roshan's not up just yet. KP already triggering the BKB, moves forward and finds the target, dragging back the Warlock with the Burrow Strike. The control is just too good. Moogie, the game is asking for somebody to kill him.
Somebody kill this man. Yeah, Moogie, I think his build is just like incredibly ballsy too. Just not a fear in the world. This is relying 100% on KP's control of the fight, and it has paid off tremendously for him. If you back down for defensive items, you might not be able to kill the Razor in time and keep him in this realm of poverty.
That is the understanding, right? Like, you understand your control time, you understand the amount of damage, and you have to keep the two of them together. Now Roshan will fall, so Aegis and Cheese to be dropped. They've already got one Cheese over in SC, so someone else can take the secondary Cheese. Looks like KP's preparing himself for that. So Aegis Immortal into the Lifestealer, and KP has the Cheese. This is becoming almost impossible for EG to implement it, like actually execute enough damage in the fights to kill off these newbie heroes.
I think that's where Enchantress comes in. Enchantress has been a silent farmer in this game, still holding up position 8, but at a...
Oh, Kaka. He sees Universe. The Observer Ward saw Universe go directly into the tree line.
They need the damage to back it up, though.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming on the wings of the Batrider. Back underneath the Observe Ward for just a second. The Spirit's in the corner. Universe starts his TP. KP too late into the Firefly. Just too late.
Ember Spirit is still close by, though, if KP just wants to search a little bit higher. Sumail will not take any chances and will exit. Ooh, Arcane. Pretty nasty on Ember Spirit. Better than Octarine Core.
Especially when he can't afford the Octarine Core. Put the Veil of Discord into his backpack.
I guess Bottle. But yeah, he's capping out. Moonshard is... He's probably one of the worst cores with Moonshard.
Yep. So when you start to wonder where you go from here, Octarine will be it, so yeah,
Radiant's
like,
bottom
he'll take the
tower
bottle
is
out.
under attack.
Rapier time?
It's...
It's not out of the question for him.
Yeah, but the item is nowhere near as effective on the Ember Sphere as it used to be. That whole like go-to question is Sumail Rapier the way back
Radiant's
in?
bottom tower has fallen.
Maybe not. Right now they have to think about defending. Newbee 48 minutes in and looking to come up high ground once more. The bottom lane got in close enough, so the backdoor regeneration won't kick in. As they wait, Kaka under the cover of Sandstorm, ready just to blink forward. Actually can't when it's on cooldown, but damn, that melee Rax is already gone. They did so much damage so quickly, they can look over to the bottom lane where Death Prop is pushing in with the Burrow Strike. It's the bigger catch. It's on the puck. Can the Rock create enough space with a Fatal Bond? Impetus damage from Zai is doing work. The Spider Fist as well. Spirit jumps and mails into the back lines, killing off Faith. They've got enough, but will it actually be enough? The Life's just coming back in again. EG, they have to buy theirs. Newbee had theirs thanks to Roshan. Still kept in here by the Dream Call. Trigger off the Lincoln Spear, the silence onto the Ember Spirit. Moogie getting in close, needs more hits, and damn, he hits hard! Sumail is falling, he's gone, and then TP out. Yule Scepter will cancel this. The sole survivor from Newbee, Moogie, he has to fight. He's got Infest available. He's running down south. Arteezy stealing up that damage and the ticket to freedom. Watch the creepy. Wait for it. They know they're pinging it. It's actually dying to the creep wave. Run away! Run away! He can't run fast enough. He actually has his armor turned on. Let the actually damage go. Does he have enough lifesteal to go through crit? He wants to. The orb's on him, but Universe, there's your silence. And Arteezy, 1,093 gold for claiming the 10 kill streak of Moogie.
Finally, they keep themselves alive. They actually went on the puck this time instead of the Razor. Razor was actually able to just go in there and do damage at will, and also Ember Spirit with the Arcane Rune. He probably did like 4 times as much damage as anybody else on EG side. He just comes in for the back line and demolishes them.
And it looked like a good opening.
You can't underestimate the the power of this Ember Spirit, though. He's just remnanting around, just casting chains constantly, and even the Maelstrom constantly hitting on all these heroes is ridiculous. He's just left unchecked completely in this fight until the close to the end, but so much damage has already been done. Exorcism already returned back to the Death Prophet.
It's the two buybacks as well on the Razor and the Punk. If they didn't find those kills after buying back, then it really wouldn't have been worth it. Like, both of them had to expend it, which does give you the other flip side, right? So now Newbee, okay, well, 100% no was maybe a little bit strong on the first little hit. But now Newbee are also sitting there going, they've got a 6-minute window, which maybe actually broken up a little bit harder here. BKB triggered, they don't get the kill. But without these buybacks, if Newbee forces this again, EG will not have those heroes, not to mention the long death timers. So EG have to be very, very cautious about how the next fight pans out and when the next fight pans out.
Yeah, they definitely need to keep check of the runes, too. DD and Arcane for Sumail would probably be ideal for them if he can get these fights. And Arcane runes, it's like another item and a half for him potentially. Combine that with like an Octarine that he might be picking up soon, he can almost be like permanently inside of Fist. Makes it impossible for you to kill him.
Arteezy has his BKB. 51 minutes it took to reach it.
He can still die though. Even if you pause BKB before the lasso, he can still die.
That just because of the insane damage coming out from Mugi.
Yep.
How much is he hitting for? So 167 plus 194, and he's rapidly approaching the Abyssal Blade.
And he has crit and he has minus armor, so I think it's a lot more than plus damage tells.
How do you actually kill him when he's also walking around? Like that's 35 armor.
You get to level 25 on Razor, you get the more link damage, you get the more link, and you just link him up. He has a lot of attack speed, so any sort of minus damage is going to limit his damage output greatly. But Arteezy still struggling to get level 25. Level 22
Well, Newbee will be patient. Again, we might want to look towards that Roshan time. Potential spawn time is in 2 minutes. And they're hunting.
Newbee have to control the runes, though. The runes are so important right now for them. And even just denying them is going to be crucial.
Concerned of the double damage.
Arcane rune for the Death Prophet, too, could be huge for them. I don't think he's been able to snag one over these fights, but the double cooldown reduction actually make that, yeah, only double. He didn't go for the cooldown reduction talent at 20. He actually went for 50 boost speed.
I wonder if SCS wants to spend some of this money that he's got. Well, that Dire Observer, you can see how scared. They already got a couple of hits into it, and Crit's not taking the risk. They're trying to get out of here. The Batrider wants a kill. Lotus Orb will protect Crit, so KP knows he cannot blink lasso onto him.
He could. He'd still die. It's not like they need the Batrider there for him. It's all Mugi.
But if you do it, you still need to have that lasso for the Razor now.
Yep.
Like, you actually have to hold off.
Yeah, he can't kill the Razor if he's on lasso. He can beat me to run around, no problem. He can easily cut the Exorcism's Fearless.
Is that the birdie? Like, it's like the kill this little thing right here I'm dangling in front of you. One of the two heroes in EG that actually has buyback is the Warlock.
Yep. That's why he was out so far.
EG are coming.
They actually need more items up on the Batrider. He's been running around a lot with the Infested Lifestealer trying to get kills, but it has suffering in this network. He hasn't been able to pick up a Scepter, a Refresher. Ideally would be an item coming out in the late game.
Oh, they look for the target. The quick Yule Sipper up. Karka able to burst strike away. The Blink Lasso's out. And Arteezy, the target, he will fall. The rock will come down as well, but how much space gets created? SK just buys back into the game onto Mail. He's hunting Faith. This is all he's hunting on the back lines. He might be able to find that kill, but in the meantime, he's losing his teammates. Zai will fall. The rather big point of damage is gone. Universe starts his TP, a quick TP up from SC, and he won't reach him either. So we'll get the timer for Roshan in a second, but two heroes down for EG without buyback. Newbee have the option to go high ground now. And Warlock is being stalked by a lot of fans.
Is he actually going to hit level 25 before the Razor? He does have the XP game talent, but that's still a little bit ludicrous that he might hit 25 first.
Well, he's level 24 in a bit, so yeah, maybe. Maybe this is the other protection he's looking at. Talking about other saving items that the Warlock could potentially buy. He's looking at a Glimmer Cape. But I don't know if that's really going to help you. At least get a little bit of magical resistance, but every time Kark is in the middle of the fight with the gem, a true sight, so the invis isn't going to stop them from killing off Razor.
Agreed, but what other item can he pick up? Scepter doesn't really improve Razor's survivability at all. I guess potentially Vlad's or AC would not be bad
Like
at all.
refresher for the second rock.
Yeah,
or-
refresher would be good too.
I say that means you at least get more control time.
I think he's just thinking short term, and if he does manage to save up enough gold for that big ticket item, then he can go for it.
Pucks at the 420. Trying to get himself closer and closer. He has the money for the full-size device. But at the same time, needs to hold on the money for buyback. That timer, that 7-minute window, is closing in 50 seconds. At the same time, also, Roshan is up for Newbee. I say for Newbee, like they can just walk in and take it freely. EG will be looking to contest. And they got their rock. Actually, their golem is down for 45 seconds. So they won't have that rock if Newbee decide to go into the pit.
And eyeing the start of the fight, how will this go? Ember Spirit has no more Lincoln Spear on it, instead opting for a Manta style, so he could potentially be the last one. I think if we can get him over to Razor, he would definitely go for it.
And look at his quick buy. If you ever wanted to have like a reason why an Ember Spirit wouldn't go for a Rapier, he's got himself Dagon level 5 inside of his quick buy. But the initiation, KP's on the hunt, moving forward, the Blink Lasso, and again, they're going to find the Enchantress, so one of the damage deals will be brought down, maybe not. Zai, force-staffed away, the Lotus Sword protected him just enough. A quick little grab, the epicenter is coming in with the Burrow Strike, that's hit enough for the rock, and Fatal Bonds, Newbee are in a horrific position. They still need the damage. Arteezy moves forward, 224 stolen, throwing it into Mugi, who stands his ground and will die for the cause. SC still alive for the moment. Dual Scepter, bring him up and towards the air. Live Zilla bites back, looking to fight harder. SC will fall, Samel with a double kill, and Karka cannot hide. The gem has been stolen. His Burrow Strike range, however, it'll give him the movement, but Samel is there to punch his number and take him out of the fight. 2 minutes without the SK and EG. The door closes, and they smash the window open.
No buyback from Karka for 100 seconds, and
They don't even care about, well, do they care about the mid lane push? Roshan's alive. Maybe they can take him.
we talked about the priority for the last selection on KP, and if you kill the Enchantress, is it that big of a deal for them?
It seemed like the best damage deal target to go on. It's either the Enchantress or it's going for the Razor, but...
Or you just go for Roche and let EG come to you. I think they need to wait for the vision on the heroes, and maybe he thought that he would catch EG by surprise, but they were completely prepared for that, and will be able to claim the Aegis.
Let's have a quick look at it again. So there's your jump. The Enchantress start off. And then they try and keep her up with the 4-star out. So much time from Newbee chasing it to force this a 4v5. The Burrow Strike from Karka also didn't connect. The BKBs gave Arteezy the power to stand and fight this time around.
And if we see how useless Mugi is if he doesn't kill that hero at the beginning of the fight. And also, a hero like that probably doesn't continue to scale that well. She is building defensive items now, but Exorcism only does a limited amount of damage. And it's hard to amp up at this stage of the game. Maybe if we get refreshed, we can catch them twice.
Well, illusion push is what Newbee is currently repelling. The Warlock, again we look for that rock timing. Crit, it's created so much space in these fights. Magic immunity on his chaotic offering. He's sitting at 4.2k, so not that far away from having the refresher orb.
Yeah, you can sell a minus right now if you wanted to. No big deal. So who ended up taking those items?
You looking for the cheese? Are you looking for what?
Oh, didn't see the Aegis. For some reason, it doesn't show up on the F5 item. But it is in Razor's inventory.
Samal has slightly changed his item build. The Dagon's still in his quick buy. Oh, okay. He bought a Bloodthorn and then sold the Bloodthorn and is now sitting at 7.8k gold. And that courier is near the secret shop, but not quite. It's the refresher orb onto crit, which we can have the applause for. But Samal, 7.8k, what are you going to do with this?
Looking at his talents, I mean, the cooldown reduction is way better for Rapier, let's say, if you are going to go for Rapier.
He's moving to the shop. Like, it's almost all eyes on Smail at the moment. Does he do it? He's walking over. The shopkeeper. Is it time? Is it Rapier? It's a passing fancy. He will think about it later. Has to shop around, you know.
Yeah, sadly he doesn't have the cleave or the crit to synergize that well with it. So, I mean, potentially later you can. It's just so hard to actually deal with damage right
Here
now,
they
though.
come, Blink Lasso, it's Arteezy, grab, drag, all the way in. Remember, he's got the Aegis to the Immortal, but he's still very deep inside the base. Burrow Strike is stopping Zai from pumping out his damage, as Samael needs to keep that control up by the rock. It hits hard, Newbee's in trouble inside their own base. They're being pushed in deeper and deeper. It's still only the Rubik dead, however. Now the Death Prophet will join him. KP can't survive. Crit held him in position. The buyback is there. KP has another life. Boogie, what do you do here? You lose your bottom racks. You have to wait for another opportunity to jump in and fight. There's no epicenter. Infest's off cooldown in 3 seconds time, and maybe then they can find the opportunity. The tier 3 towers are under siege at Newbee. This game has been so back and forth. They want the opportunity. Sand King is the one to do it. Blink, Burrow Strike, the jump out. Boogie took so much damage, however. He needs to kill off Warlock, and he's got him. The Chaos Offering pops out of him, but now the Bat Rider is down. Wasn't worth it. It is for EG. They have brought down forward, no buybacks in GG. Evil Geniuses. They were ahead, and now behind, and then we sharply climb back into the winner's zone, taking game 3 in this grand final.
The man of the hour is yet against Sumit.